He completed all of his like instructional courses. Yeah.
Timeout.
Why are we calling it timeout?
Jake is diarrheaing.
Yeah.
Jake, yeah.
He's diarrheaing
Jake
right now.
never walks out
I
during a
just
podcast.
realized that.
Oh, yeah.
He said that his stomach was getting shredded by the cheesesteak we had. He's pooping right now. On today's Part of My Take, our good friend Mark Titus in studio, catching up with him, talking a little hoops, talking a little content, talking everything with him. Hadn't seen him a few months. We have a PGA Championship that was thrilling, overtime, playoff holes. I guess playoff holes is what you call it, whatever. Golf nerds, I don't care. We're going to talk that. We have Celtics Heat, which is, let's just say Hank is in a foul mood. Who's back of the week? And then we'll talk a little hockey on the other side of Mark Titus, as well as the Mavs versus Warriors. Before we get to all of that, Visible, when it comes to saving on wireless, Visible wins every time. Other wireless carriers hit you with costly monthly bills, tricky extra fees, and unwanted add-ons. The competition doesn't stand a chance. The choice is obvious. Visible. You can shell out $60 or more a month with other mobile carriers or pay as little as $25 a month for single-line wireless with Visible. You can get cornered into a family plan by other guys to try and save or save solo on a single line with Visible. You can pay extra fees every month on another mobile plan, or you can pay no extra fees with Visible. Switch to Visible at visible.com/pod. Get unlimited single lines wireless for as low as $25 a month. Comparison to a single line with unlimited data at other major carriers. For plan and network details, see visible.com/pod. Visible.com/pod. Check it out now. You will get great wireless for as low as $25 a month. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by Visible. Go check out visible.com/pod today, and you can get wireless for as low as $25 a month. Today is Monday, May 23rd, and Justin Thomas is back on top. What a PGA Championship.
It was an awesome finish.
It was.
It was great. Now, the field going into Sunday didn't look that strong. It looked like it might be kind of a boring one for all the golf casuals out there. Not us.
Not us.
Not real, what do you call it? Dimpleheads?
Dimpleheads, yeah.
Not real dimpleheads like me and Big Cat.
We're course monsters.
But yeah, we did root for the course, and the course, I'll say this about the course. It had almost a Robert Ory type showing where it was like solid, not spectacular, but it came through in the clutch when it counted.
Yeah.
On the 18th hole, you had Mito Peirera from Chile teeing off, and it was he turned into Charles Barkley on the 18th hole. It was crazy watching his drive. He spazzed out in the middle of his swing.
It was also, we were all, I think, everyone who was watching was rooting for the same thing, because the PGA Championship has a 3-hole playoff. We were rooting for him to bogey so that then there's a 3-man, 3-hole playoff. He just went completely off the reservation, hit it into the water, then hit it, I think, maybe in the or over the green, then another one, like all over the place, total disaster. I don't know how you mentally can ever come back from something like that. I know that sounds extreme, but you're leading by one, and you were leading basically all day. Essentially, no one wanted to win this tournament. That's why you get Justin Thomas coming back from 7 strokes down to start the day. But yeah, Mito Peirera, I mean, I guess the only solace you can have is like, he still won $800,000.
That's pretty good.
He lost like $1.3 million on that hole.
It just occurred to me that, like, as a Chilean, he would be very, very close to the water at all times.
Yes.
That's kind of a tradition that they have there.
Yes.
Now, he does have the fact that it's not the worst 18th hole meltdown in the history of the majors.
Correct.
That will forever be Van de Velde, the French guy that ended up taking off his socks at the
trying to
18th
hit
hole.
it out of the water.
Yeah, that was
trying
awesome.
to be Jesus Christ.
That was awesome. I wish that Mito had tried to do that.
Me too.
That would have been incredible.
Wait, that was kind of me too. Me too.
He got Me Too'd.
Yeah.
He got Me Too'd on the 18th.
He's just the Chilean Mike Pereira, I guess.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing. The whole
Me
time
too.
I was like, okay, well, cool. I know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, so
because of football.
So Justin Thomas wins. I didn't realize this. I always knew it was the Wanamaker Trophy, which is a great trophy, I think.
Yep.
I think that's the one that got broken a couple years ago.
Yes.
By Morikawa.
I believe
right?
so.
So not only do you get a nice purse, you get all those exemptions to like basically every tournament for 5 years, but you also get the money clip. You get like the PGA Champions money clip when you win this, and that's the most golf thing ever. To be like, hey, we're giving you so much money that part of the trophy is going to be something that you can use to keep all the money together with.
Yes.
I think the real MVP was the guy that was standing next to the tee box on the 18th hole, and he yelled, "Smash the driver." He was like, "Smash the driver" at Mito. There's no... Why would you ever hit driver?
I don't know,
on the
because
18th after Mito?
You saw it. Basically, we had the same exact thing happen in the playoff where Will Zalatoris and Justin Thomas with the insane, drove the green in a par 4 in the second hole of the playoff. Then he gets up to 18, same spot, up by 1, and he was like, okay, I'm not going to screw this up.
Yeah.
Like I think he maybe
no,
he did actually.
He hit driver.
It was Will who actually didn't hit driver.
He hit
on
3-wood,
18 there, yeah.
But Justin Thomas was like, fuck it.
Yeah, the commenters were like, that's what Mito should have done. When Will hit his 3-wood, it's like, damn, still throwing salt in. But yeah, why would you?
Because that guy was so convincing. If you go back and you listen to the replay, as he's walking up to the 18th tee, there's this one guy, this drunk Tolson, just screaming at the top of his lungs, "Smash the driver." And then you hear a woman from the other side go, "No, don't. Play it safe. Play it safe." And the guy's like, "No, smash it." And he's like, "You know what? That guy won the argument. I'm going to go with him."
Brutal. I mean, man, absolutely brutal.
I also love short par 4s.
Yeah.
So that's what really won the tournament for JT, was when he drove the green on the short par 4.
And maybe now Alabama gets a little smoke off of Saban, because Justin Thomas, this does count as a championship for Alabama.
That's a good point.
I also have an MVP. It is golf writer for ESPN. His name is Kevin Van Valkenburg.
Oh, yeah, I like Kevin.
Yep. I do too, I think. I don't know. But he wrote an article on Saturday after McIlroy and Justin Thomas had a bad Saturday. And he was talking about how they basically, another opportunity has passed them by. And he wrote, both McIlroy and Thomas grew up idolizing Woods, Tiger Woods, if you don't know, especially the way he climbed the leaderboard on days like this one at Southern Hills. He did it even when he didn't have his best stuff. Both men were mentored by Woods early in their careers and are among a small circle of players who can call the 15-time major winner a friend. But what has become apparent watching them is that Woods could not pass down the ruthlessness that ran through him like an electric current, particularly in majors. He passed along strategy, secrets, and occasional bits of swing theory, but he could not hand over the cold-blooded ferociousness that helped him dominate the sport. And so he basically is like, yeah, these guys stink. They're not Tiger Woods. And then Justin Thomas goes and has a 7-stroke comeback to win the tournament in a playoff.
I mean, he played awesome on Sunday.
Awesome.
Justin Thomas was really, really good. But
it's very quickly that a storyline of these guys don't have like that killer edge out the window. Now, Rory, you could say the same for, or you could still say it, because he's been very disappointing with like what you saw on Thursday where he kicked the shit out of everyone. Rory is now officially, when he has his best, he can't be beat.
His best
doesn't come out like consistently enough.
Yeah, it's like a great pitcher. When he's on his stuff, when the humidity's just right, Rory's unbeatable. But yeah, I'd like to see Rory get back involved. I feel like he's playing good golf right now. I was rooting for he is, right?
Yeah.
He played well at the Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing better than he has in like the last 3 years.
I can't confidently speak on that.
I've just seen his name. I've seen his name more. Is he striking the ball better than he has?
No idea.
He was hitting long drivers in the beginning.
I know he played great on Thursday. He did have that last round at the Masters. Rory's I think he's become like a backdoor cover guy for top fives. Mm-hmm. Like he shows up on Sundays when he's out and he comes back in. But yeah, he's striking the ball well.
I'm gonna place a hefty bet on Rory in the Open Championship.
Beautiful.
I feel like that's where I'm just gonna say it's in Northern Ireland this year, so it's Rory's home course.
By the way, shout out to PGA Championship for moving their championship up, because it does feel more important now. Remember, it used to always be 4?
Yeah, at the end.
Everyone's like, oh, who cares? End of the summer, like, doesn't matter. This one actually felt like a major. And
I think that they should. I love what the U.S. Open used to do. I don't know if they still do with their overtime, as you said at the start of the show. They do like an entire day's worth, like an 18-hole playoff.
Yeah. Which
that was incredible when it was Tiger Woods
and Rocco
Mediate.
Yeah.
Back in like 2008, 2009. That day in the office, that right there is the most counterproductive office day of all time across America. I would imagine, like everyone that works in the cubicle.
Tournament.
No, I think that was bigger than the tournament because it's like everybody was watching all day long.
I don't think college. I mean, come on, it's the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, but I mean, think about white collar workers in cubicles.
Right.
Tiger Woods in the playoff
They're
all day.
watching tournament
all day. That one day I think would dwarf the tournament. So I actually don't know where the Open. It's at the old course this year. Fuck it. It's Rory's home course.
There it is.
Let's all bet on Rory in the Open.
Yeah, he's playing great golf.
I
was gonna say it really felt like a major because they moved it up minus the part where Max Homa finished top 20. That part didn't feel like a major because we were like, what the hell? What is he doing here?
He shot perfectly even.
Yeah.
I think it's time that we as a podcast have to acknowledge it. Max is good.
No, this is I actually texted him.
He's just good at golf.
I texted him a congratulations. This is part of the baby steps we talked to him about. He made the cut at the Masters. Then we said you got to start finishing like top 20. Then like by next year he's going to win every major. I'm fully confident in that. And let's just say it, he had to deal with the sniffles all weekend. He had allergies, and I mean, I've never seen anything as heroic as that. I know people were talking about Tiger, who made the cut. Let's just say when he shot bad on Saturday, and then like Tiger's good. Tiger's good at his spin zones. He's good at controlling the narrative. I think everyone's like, this guy, how is he walking? How does he make a cut? And then he shoots horrendous on Saturday and pulls out, and everyone's like, I'm just so thankful he even gave us 3 days.
I think what happened was Tiger pulled out because he had the sniffles.
Yeah.
And he couldn't battle through the sniffles. Max made the sniffles his bitch. Shot a perfect even par.
So this was Max's best finish at a major, tied for 13th. And if he just makes the cut at the U.S. Open in Massachusetts this summer, he'll officially have made the cut at all 4 majors.
I was very proud of him. I was very proud.
That's the Max Slam.
Yeah, the Max Slam. Yeah.
Making the cut at all 4 in your career.
I was very proud of him. It was big for him. And our guy Will Zalatoris came up short, sucked. He's one of those guys that, speaking as, what do we call ourselves?
Dimpleheads.
We know golf better than anyone. As soon as he figures out his putter, he's going to win every major.
And by figures out his putter, you mean like gets a putter, gets a better putter.
Yes.
I think watching his putting stroke, whenever he pulls it back, it like shakes. Well, it goes. I don't think that you're supposed to do that. I think it's supposed to go straight back and straight forward.
Yeah. Yes, that's what we're taught. I mean, we're also,
but we're like students of the game.
I think he was there like a right to left putt that he had, and Jim Nance said something like, "Oh, there's that right to left." He struggles with. It's like, wait, isn't that like half the time?
50% of the shots, ideally. Yeah.
What the fuck?
So it's the total field was 156 players at the PGA. Max had 157. Because he was fighting his own body.
Correct.
So I'd say like Max is the real winner of this weekend.
Yes. I actually am legitimately, no bullshit aside, proud of him. And I'm saying that because he actually hit a birdie on 18 that pushed his head-to-head with the guy he was playing with. And if he had missed that, I would be full Max slander right now.
Yeah.
I would have been
Jake, can we find
calling
out
him the biggest bum in the world. So he saved himself with his play. Good job, Max.
How much did that last putt earn Max?
Probably a decent amount. Probably about $100K, I would guess.
Tied for 13th, $253,750.
So wait, that's how much he would have lost if he had not.
If he missed it, it was tied for 20th. It was 191.
So yeah, like $60,000.
Yeah. Huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job, Max.
Also, I believe every golfer who's been on this podcast made the cut. Brooks made the cut. Colin Morikawa made the cut.
Ricky?
Ricky
never gets any respect.
Ricky doesn't get respect.
Ricky made the cut.
All right.
Ricky made the cut.
And Team BMW, Brooks Maxwell, Justin
And
Thomas
Brooks is
won.
still injured. I know that
Smiley?
like Brooks is
Smiley
Smiley was covering it. He was covering.
He wasn't in the
He was
field.
actually. I saw him. He was covering it for ESPN.
So I believe everyone.
So he made the cut. He was there on Sunday. He made the cut.
The most fun
That's a fact.
fact about this golf course was that Whitey Bulger had a guy killed in the parking lot one time.
Oh, that is a fun fact.
It's kind of crazy.
That is very fun.
And you never hear about like the mob out in Oklahoma. And I was trying to figure out why you don't like. No one talks about like the oil mob. And it's just because the mobsters that ran oil ended up just becoming oil businessmen, and they wrote all the laws to make everything they did completely legal.
Right.
So it is the mob.
Right. It's a legalized mob.
Yeah. Good for them.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. It was good. The playoff was great. More playoffs, overtime, whatever you want to call it. Should we talk about the Celtics in the Heat series? Because there's one Henry Lockwood in here who's had quite a change of tune in the last 24 hours. Actually, no, because we were eating dinner tonight, and he said, the Celtics have played better than the Heat in every single one of the games.
If you go by
they have won 10 of the 12 quarters.
yeah, if you go by
right?
quarters,
He is, and I still, I predicted this series was going to go 7. I think it's going to go back and forth like this. I don't think that I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment and say the Celtics are done in any way. Let's start with this, Hank. What was your range of emotions when not only Marcus Smart but Jason Tatum both were out for the year for 10 minutes?
Marcus Smart, that happens once a game for the last 8 years of his career. So that wasn't anything normal. It's like he's gonna get up, he's gonna be fine. When Tatum went down, I said it. I was like, season's over. I almost tweeted it like, thanks for coming out. Good season, good run. What could have been? He looks like he's dead. He went to the locker room. I thought his shoulder was pulled out, like he was gonna have surgery that was gonna have no chance of him being back within like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And then when he came back, it was hype.
It was
awesome.
It was
a great moment. Great, great theater for the people of Boston that were at the game when Smart came out and Tatum came back. Although
2 Willis Reed moments.
I was gonna say it's like building the entire team out of Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
the problem with Tatum was that he came back when they were down 1. Like it seemed like everything was going their way, and then it just all fell apart again. So I don't know that they should have even put him back in.
Because Max Strus showed up. That's what happened. Max Strus, I think, is I'm going to put him as the most important player. No, Udonis. Udonis first.
Yeah, Udonis.
On the Heat. The most important player besides Udonis Haslem is Max Strus. Because it did look like they were going to lose that game, and they were up by 1 point, and then Max was just like, give me the fucking ball. I'm going to shoot this 3. And then from that point on, it was like, okay, that game's over. Whereas, if you miss that 3, Celtics get the rebound, they take the lead, I think the game's over. I think the Celtics win that game.
Hank said they should have won.
Well,
I feel like they should have.
But then I reminded him that Jimmy Butler didn't play the second half. He's like, yeah, that's
why
true.
they should have won.
You got to
no,
win.
That's what I'm saying. With Jimmy Butler not playing, they should have won that game.
Yeah, but the first quarter does count.
It does.
And the first half
all
counts.
quarters counts.
All quarters counts.
They've won 10 of them.
All quarters matter.
Yeah.
That's printed on a shirt.
And the Celtics have won 10 of them, which to me means that they're the better team.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking shit about 83% earlier in these playoffs. You were like, well, that means that's 17% chance that it doesn't happen. And you were betting on those teams. Now the curse of the 17% is coming back at you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Celtics have to win tonight, Monday night. Even series. They're the better team. Best out of 3. They can win that.
Yeah, so Hank on Friday when we went to Rough and Rowdy was talking like he was like,
I'm
we're so much better than them.
Coaster of emotions.
It's a 5-game series. It's over. Watching this game, the biggest takeaway for me, well, there's 2 takeaways. One, the Celtics were just so sloppy with the ball.
They've been sloppy with the ball.
26 turnovers is insane. 2, Bam Adebayo, if you're a Heat fan, you got to be so frustrated with that guy because he's so goddamn good. And then he just decided on Saturday night, because Jimmy actually said, I need to look for my teammates more. I need some more help. They even said, they echoed it. Tyler Hero and Bam were saying, we need to help him more. He shot 15 for 22. He was unstoppable. And then you look back, games 1 and 2, he had 10 shots total. He basically when he wants to decide to be a huge mismatch and a game changer, he can do it. And then there's games where he's like, no, I'm just going to stand kind of in no man's land and pass the ball.
I'm going to do the thing where I tell you why Bam's game wasn't actually that great. He only shot 1 foul shot.
Yeah, he was really good.
I need my big men to get to the line a little bit more often.
He came out and was on fire and basically was the reason why they started so hot. What should we talk about Peyton Pritchard a little bit? Do you think that was do you disavow?
Disavow what?
He broke the code.
Peyton Pritchard grabbing Jimmy Butler by the knee.
He grabbed his knee.
Grabbed the inside of his
Glad
knee.
someone in the media is going to talk about
it.
Well, you alerted to us, Jake. We had no idea. That's the Heat disrespect. Bad part on our part.
I mean, that's you're grasping at straws. It's a physical game. Guys are getting physical. Bodies are going to bump into each other. He was going for the ball. It's unfortunate that Jimmy Butler got hurt.
Knee.
I wish he didn't get hurt. But
it was great when Hank looked at the replay and he just stared at it for an extra 30 seconds, trying to be like, how am I going to get myself out of this one?
He kept replaying it, being like, maybe it'll show up differently this time. He just
there's only one angle too. There's only one angle, and it's a blurry angle. It's not really anything definitive.
It was the
That's why people aren't
angle.
talking about it, because there's nothing to talk about, Jake.
What are your thoughts on Jason Tatum and the game he had?
It was just super, super sloppy. Him and Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown had a good game, but my biggest issue, or when I woke up today and I was sad, I was like, what the fuck? I can't believe we lost that game. I can't believe we lost the first game. Is we are the better team in my mind. I know I keep saying that. I know you guys are pushing back, but we are the better team in my mind. And if we lose the series, and it's gonna be because of sloppy turnovers and just dumb doy plays, And not because of Jimmy Butler taking over, the Heat having a better strategy, or whatever. It's like the Celtics are beating the Celtics.
I think you're the better team, but I don't think it's that big of a difference. Is where I would land.
10 out of 12.
Like I think this is 10 out of 12 quarters. You're right. I think the Heat are like a slight notch below in terms of overall talent, but they also play really good defense and they're very well coached. So that can even it out right there.
Also, Hank, it's not 10 out of 12. It's 9, 1, and 1.
Yeah. I think more than that.
Oh, no, sorry.
More
9,
pushes.
9 1, and
ties
2.
in
Yeah.
game two.
They tied the third quarter of last night's game.
So,
My mistake.
yeah, that is a mistake. Jake, what are you thinking? Over? Series over?
No. I'm just glad all the players are okay. Hopefully.
Is
I don't
Jimmy
know about
okay?
Jimmy Butler. But I'm glad Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart made it back to the court.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
2-1
real
now.
touch and go for a second.
I was going
there.
for the ball when I went after Jake, and everyone's coming at me. Peyton
Well, yeah,
Pritchard
you-
was going after the ball when Jimmy Butler got hurt. Everyone's coming after him. It's like, what?
This
what are
is
you
your
supposed to
fault.
do?
This is your fault.
It's your fault.
No,
Yes,
it's your fault.
You created the game,
right.
You were the one that
actually
said
started the game.
no.
I
was wanting
changed
to
the
bench
rules
press.
to it.
Yeah, I said bench
Right.
press. You said ball
I
sack.
wasn't thinking about games. You started the gamification of the live stream. I then took it to where it went.
Yeah, that's just great producing on my end. But
That's your fault.
You're the one that said if someone loses, they get nut tapped, and you get to choose who nut taps you. Ipso de facto, Jake loses.
So de facto.
Then
Is that Italian?
so I blame you.
Beppe.
I blame you.
Okay. I do not take that blame.
Hank, here's a closer up view of the grab. This one's much closer. You can see exactly what happened there. He's on the ground. Butler's got the ball, drives, and just grabs his knee and pulls it back. It was just a good tackle.
Send me
Forgot
the
what
link.
sport he was playing.
Send you the link.
You're not going to look
I think
at
the Celtics are going to kill them in Game 4. There you go.
Kill?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So actually, here's why. I actually think we maybe apologize to Bob Ryan about the 3-point rule and him saying it's ruined basketball, because I went and looked it up. I had a thought after watching the first half on Saturday night where the Heat were just demolishing the Celtics, and I was like, have these playoffs been like that great? Because I know there's been some drama. I look back, there have been more games that have been won by double digits than games that have won by less than double digits.
yeah, that's what it felt like to me. Like there's some series that go back and forth, but even in the ones that go back and
Correct.
forth, it's blowouts.
It's 38 games have been decided by double digits. 20 of those have been 20 points plus, and 36 games have been 10 points or less, without talking about this game tonight that's going on. We're going to talk about it after Titus. And it's essentially like which team just hits their threes in a given night. It's the variance of each team's going to shoot a lot of threes. If your team makes all the threes, they win by 10 plus. If they don't, they lose by 10 plus.
I guess it was a little bit different because, like, I think the Celtics shot like 40% almost from three last night. They shot better than the Heat did from three.
Right,
If you
but it
look
was
at percentages,
second
but
half they came back.
That one was more about like you guys were talking about, the turnovers, the weird, like they try to run a quasi fast break offense sometimes, but you have to be able to complete 2 passes to do
Right.
that, and they're not able to do that.
But game 2 was essentially like, the Celtics won by 20, and they shot 50% from 3, right? Like
Yeah.
that was game 2. What did they shoot game 1? I think it was terrible from 3. It's essentially, do you make your threes? I know this is an oversimplification, but they shot 32% from 3 in game 1, 50% in game 2. There's the difference between winning by 10 and losing by 10. Again, this is probably oversimplifying it, but there is a feeling of like you just watch the NBA on a night to night, and I don't want the weirdos to come out of the woodwork and be like, the NBA sucks.
No weirdos.
I love the NBA, but you can make the argument that you turn on the game and it's just, will one team hit all their threes tonight? Okay, game over.
Yeah, it's been like that the last couple years.
Right.
Like Steph Curry.
Right.
People tried to match what Steph Curry and the Warriors were doing, and you really can't do that unless you are Steph Curry.
And I was
Warriors.
just thinking about how many games I've watched, and I feel like it's been over from the beginning. There've been a couple memorable games. The Bucks Celtics series felt like it had a few.
Grizz Timberwolves.
Grizz Timberwolves had a few, and actually the Grizzlies Warriors had a couple games, but those were some blowouts too. I don't know, something to think about. Something to throw out there. I don't want it to become a rallying cry for the anti-NBA people, because I like the NBA and I like watching basketball. It popped in my head when I was watching the games on Saturday night.
I'm curious to know from for our own Mr. 305, Jake. Jake, you got the pulse of Miami right now.
You do. You stand up for the city of Miami.
When I think Miami, I think Jake Marsh.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Jake,
Boca, Lauderdale,
Weston.
Yep.
So
Miami.
how confident
Keys.
are we right now? Or like I feel like the Heat are starting to get that respect that you guys have been asking for.
No, they're not.
Oh.
Everyone's talking about what Hank said, how the Celtics blew that opportunity. No one's saying, oh, the Heat without their best player held on and won a road game.
Yeah, I thought the Heat had a great game plan and they played very good defense on Saturday night.
Yeah.
They deserve to win that game.
I feel like PJ Tucker has been on the Heat his entire life, even though he hasn't.
He should.
Like,
He should.
He's played for everywhere else. I think he's been all over the world.
Yeah.
But he feels like a guy that's just like he is Heat culture right now.
I agree. These teams are pretty evenly matched. So would I love the Heat to be up 3-1? Sure, but from the beginning, I thought this was going at least 6 or 7. I think if the Heat win tomorrow, they'll close the deal at home.
Also,
in
just
Game
to clean
5.
something out, and Hank's giving Jake a death stare. Hank,
Nope.
when you said
Exaggeration
earlier,
alarm again,
Thank
he
you,
was
Jake.
looking at his phone.
Thank you, Jake. Very cool.
when you said earlier that it's going to be a best of 3 series, you mean they win the next one, and then after that, it's a best of 3 series?
I mean, this is once again selective PFT, false narrative
no,
commentary.
I mean I heard what you said.
Yes, the beginning of the sentence was win tomorrow, then it's a best of 3.
Okay, got
The
it.
beginning of that was saying that we have to win tomorrow.
Got it. I think you.
Then
I don't think
after that,
I don't think it was. An
it will
if,
be a best of 3.
It wasn't an if-then statement. It was like win tomorrow. It's a best of 3.
Yeah, that's
What-
the plan.
What about win
That's how I'm thinking about
What
it.
about win the next 2 and then all you got to do is win 1 of 2?
You just got to focus on the next game, Big Cat. You know that.
But then the best of 3.
If we win tomorrow, then it will be a best of 3.
Did you see the Jermaine O'Neal clip, by the way, Jake, of Heat culture? He was talking
No,
about
I did
Heat
not.
culture, and I guess like the Heat. I'm sure most NBA teams do this, but the Heat, make their players stay below a certain percentage in body fat.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that the reason why he didn't re-sign with them, he said,
Oh,
quote,
yeah,
I
no,
remember
I think I
going
saw
into the
this.
pantry at night looking at the Oreos,
Yeah.
the Oreos looking at me, and I was like, bruh, I'm 30-plus years old. I can't go through this.
Hey,
Not Heat culture.
takes a lot.
Yeah.
I kind of
I
respect
like the
that.
Oreos looking back at him.
It's true.
Yeah.
Once you reach a certain age, you're like, you know what? This treat is going to taste better than any percentage body fat could ever feel.
Right, I can't.
Like
I
they always
can't do this.
They always say if you're like on a diet, it's like nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. That entirely flips
Yeah.
once you reach your 30s, and it's like no, being skinny actually doesn't feel good.
A moment on the lips, forever on the hips.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fuck that shit. Eat what you want. Okay. So, we're not gonna stream Monday night. Maybe Wednesday night. I don't know. We got to figure that out.
Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
No, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, because we're gonna obviously be Memorial Day weekend. So maybe we'll do a Wednesday because we won't have any other games that we'll be around for. That will be, Game 5 will be very important because it'll be 2-2.
yeah.
According to Hank.
At that point, it's like
Right.
whoever wins that, then they only have to win one of the next 2.
Correct. This is just simple math, folks. We're
Agreed.
just doing math. Okay, let's do Who's Back of the Week. Then we'll get to Mark Titus. Before we get to Who's Back of the Week, Cross Country Mortgage. If you're still throwing away money on rent every month, you're just sitting on the bench, Cross Country Mortgage puts you in the game, and you'll be part of a championship team. Cross Country Mortgage has a team of loan officers dedicated to getting you the best possible loan terms available. They have an average close time of 21 days, which is crazy fast. They've got a wide variety of loan types, which means they've got everything to cover everyone. And we have some exciting news. They're giving away free Barstool and Cross Country Mortgage sweatshirts when you sign up to refi or get approval while supplies last. So what are you waiting for? Get off the bench. Start warming up. Cross Country Mortgage is a team dedicated to getting you in your dream home. Start winning today. Go to ccm.com/barstool so Cross Country Mortgage can take care of you through the buying process. Cross Country Mortgage LLC, NMLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Okay, who's back of the week? Hank.
My Who's Back of the Week is footy.
Yeah.
Soccer.
The lads.
This is more of a maybe an explain to Hank, even though you guys know I'm a big soccer guy. I love the pitch.
Yeah.
But today seemed like it was the Premier League's version of Red Zone.
Yes.
Why don't they do this all the time?
Because it's the last Sunday. It's the last week, the last games of the year for the entire league.
So every
And
team played?
Yeah, so
At
in
the same
England,
exact time.
It makes so the way
That's
that they
awesome.
crown
Yeah.
their winner is through the regular season. That's who wins the EPL. So
There's
on
no
the last
playoffs?
day, it's like they play them all at the exact same time, so that no teams are doing any like gamesmanship of this team tied earlier. We have to do this. We have to do that. There's
They
no
do
advantage.
kind of do that in the NFL now. where they, will make everyone play at 1 o'clock that doesn't have the same, that can't impact the 4 o'clock game. So they do something similar, but it was awesome because the Man City won the league. They were down 2-0. They had to win the game to win the league because Liverpool was winning or was about to win, and they scored 3 goals in 5 minutes to win 3-2 and win the entire league.
Did you see the manager celebration?
It was great. Yeah,
it was awesome.
Double
Perfectly
fist
normal,
pump.
yeah.
And it was actually a bonus, whammy, because Steven Gerrard, who is the manager of Villa, who they were playing, is a Liverpool legend. So if his team had held on and tied Man City, Liverpool would have won the league, which he never did.
It was a double fuck off.
Yeah. So he got screwed twice.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so they departed amicably.
No. Yeah.
okay, so it's
He's
not-
a legend at Liverpool, but
Okay.
he never won the league, and then he wasn't even able to win the league for Liverpool by managing another team to a draw.
Right. And now I think it's like a week from now, Liverpool plays for the UEFA Champions League title.
Yes.
So it ruined their opportunity.
That's the playoffs.
to win all 4. So there's like 4 major trophies you can win, and Liverpool could have done that, but it got snatched by Man City.
Yes.
The city for men.
It's
But now
actually
they're playing for another one in 2 weeks.
Once you
UEFA.
understand it, it actually is kind of a cool system. It's
hard. It's very hard.
all
to
the major
understand.
leagues, right? So the EPL, if you finish top 4 in the league, you are now in the Champions League the next year, which is all the best teams in Europe play in a tournament throughout the year. If you finish 5th, you're in Europa, which is the Thursday games. Shout out Troops. Remember how he watches the shitty league on Thursdays? He's going to do that again.
Were they close?
They were close.
Oh.
They lost in a heartbreaker midweek that ruined it for them. Either way, Liverpool now is going to be playing for the Champions League, which is probably it's what everyone is going for, because that is the championship, of Europe. You're the champions of Europe. You're the best team across Europe. So you're playing against Spanish teams, German teams, Italian teams, whatever. So that's the prize. Although the EPL title is very nice as well.
They say that the EPL title
That makes sense.
is the hardest one to win because it's like the full season long.
Yeah.
Now, some people will probably be like, well, no, the UEFA Champions League's harder to win because you have to play against all the best teams in Europe. But I heard one guy with a British accent say that was the hardest one to do, so that's what I'm going to go with.
I mean, it is pretty hard. Yeah, you got to win winning the regular season.
It's
and
a
you,
full season award, yeah.
Yeah, and you play each team home and away, which is kind of cool. I mean, once you can grasp it, it is kind of a cool league, how they have it set up.
Not to rub,
And
just for context, I'm not even trying to troll here, but Swansea would have to get unrelegated into the EPL, and
Correct.
if they finish top
Promoted.
4, then they could get in champions.
they'll never do that.
Got it.
Top 4, let's just get unrelegated, which is promotion. But
There was also an
Yes.
American storyline.
Yes.
Because the coach of Leeds, he came in like halfway through the season.
Correct.
He's an American. His name's Jesse Marsh. He's from Wisconsin. He's from, is it Racine?
Yep.
He's from Racine.
Shout out Karan Butler.
Racine, Wisconsin. And he came in and he managed Leeds to, I think they finished like 3-3-4 or some bullshit like that to end the season. But they were going to be relegated.
Yeah.
And
No,
Was he a
unpromoted.
football coach?
D unpromoted.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a footy coach.
Yeah, and they scored with
No, like an
they scored with
American
no
Yeah,
football
time
coach
he's
left.
that-
Ted Lasso.
They scored with no time left. It was incredible. It was great drama.
It's funny because he's I read somewhere that he's the American that has managed an English team to its highest result at the end of a season in the history of the EPL, and it's like, wait, like barely not getting relegated?
Yeah.
that's the best that we've
That's
done.
huge.
That's big for us though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is Ted Lasso.
And shout out Sunderland, who got promoted from the second league to the championship league, which is the second league.
Yeah.
They got promoted.
The Championship League.
They're
actually
in the third
not-
That's
league.
what Swansea's in?
Yeah, they were in the third league. There's actually a great documentary on Netflix. Everyone should watch it about Sunderland. But they were the third league. They got promoted to the second league. So next year they're going to try to get back to the first league, which is cool. That
exciting.
system is awesome. That system, it will never happen in America because the part of the system that when everyone on Twitter will be like, why don't we have relegation in American sports? You forget the part that no business owner is ever going to want to risk having their team. Like, could you imagine going to Jerry Jones and be like, hey, if Dak Prescott gets hurt and you win 2 games, you're not in the NFL anymore. Yeah, he's not going to sign up for that.
But they should do it in college sports.
Yeah,
with the
but
major conferences.
yeah.
Again, there's too much money involved.
Right, exactly. No one will ever agree to it, but it is a very cool thing that you can basically climb the ladder and have a rags to riches story within the league.
What do you do if your team gets relegated? Because I feel
Cry.
like that's when you have a decision to make of, is it really worth it? Am I going to sweat out the next couple of years? in the derelegation league.
Well, and the problem too is then players don't want to play for a team that's not in the EPL, so they ask to be transferred. It's a whole thing, but it's very cool. Very cool. All right.
And that was Talking Soccer.
That was Talking Soccer. The extended Talking Soccer. I'm sure we've screwed some things up, and if we did, please send all complaints to Jake Marsh.
My Who's Back of the Week, I got a couple. My first one is Martin Shkreli.
Yeah.
Former guest, AWL.
Get the band back together.
Longtime Stoolie, Martin
Yes.
Shkreli. The farmer bro is out of prison. He completed all of his instructional courses. Yeah?
Timeout.
Why are we calling it timeout?
Jake is diarrheaing.
Yeah.
Jake, yeah.
He's diarrheaing
Jake
right
never
now.
walks out
I
during a
just
podcast.
realized that.
Oh, yeah.
He said that his stomach was getting shredded by the cheesesteak we had. He's pooping right now.
Lamar Jackson.
Where were you right now?
Low-key.
Yeah, low-key.
Low-key.
Lamar Jackson.
He's low-key shitting his gourd out on the toilet.
Where were you when you were listening to Part of My Take and you realized at this very moment Jake Marsh is probably sitting on the toilet going, oh, like a whimper / cry.
I'm going to FaceTime him. Where's my phone? Lamarsh Jackson.
I didn't realize that he got up and left. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's a big moment. He's a professional. You think Joe Buck calling the Super Bowl would ever leave?
No.
No chance. No chance.
He has, in fact, peed during a game.
Yeah, but Shkreli is back. You
Hang on,
pumped for that?
Hang on. I'm not pumped yet because I'm going to FaceTime Jake Marsh.
Hey,
Hey, Jake.
we're waiting for you. We stopped. We didn't realize. Did you think the show was over?
Are you in the kitchen?
No, I told you the sandwich.
Are you crying?
No, I'll be there in a minute.
No, just tell us your who's back.
My who's back is Aroldis Chapman blowing saves.
Okay.
Kind of like you're blowing your asshole out right now.
Exactly. Shout out Dude Wife. She's given up an earned run in 5 straight starts, and it's not good.
You say runs?
He's a starter? I didn't know he started games, Jake.
Oh, wow. That actually is a huge mistake, Jake.
He said 5 straight games.
No, he said starts.
Oh.
No, not.
I heard games.
Oh, he did?
He
Okay.
said starts. No, he said
I
starts.
disavow myself trying to hop on Henry
Reavow.
Lockwood's.
No, reavow.
Reavow.
We're gonna
You
go.
said
We're gonna go
starts?
watch
Yes.
the tape.
I think you
and figure
said
out what you
starts. Sorry,
said.
I reavow.
All right, bye, Jake.
It's appearances, Jake, just so you know.
Double wipe.
It's not starts when he comes in the 9th. Okay.
Okay.
That was Jake Marsh. from the
Jake
toilet.
Marsh is who's back, but Martin Shkreli's out of prison, so we got to get the band back together. They let him out. I think he was supposed to be in jail for another 2 years, but he got off for good behavior. So
Happy for his cats.
very happy for his cats. He's probably just going to become an actual drug dealer now.
Well, doesn't he have a girlfriend? Remember that story of the woman who fell in love with him?
That happens all the time. Dudes go to prison for the nastiest shit, and they just get girls that want to start dating them.
It's
after
actually
they're in
the
jail.
best way. Like if you're
Bad boys.
if you're looking for a slump buster,
Bad
commit a
boys.
crime.
It's great. You don't have to worry about doing all the stupid chores with them.
Right.
I think this is actually an episode of Seinfeld where George dated a guy or a girl on the inside.
Right.
Conjugal visit sex must be pretty nice. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's out, so we will have to get the band back together. People forget he was on Part of My Take back in 2016. It got very contentious
Yes.
with him, and I think we started a band with Martin Shkreli.
Yeah, we found
All-time contentious.
we found
Maybe the most heated I've ever heard you, PS.
we,
I think I told him I was going to, I think I said I was going to eat his mom's clit like a hungry hippo. Like Big Bad Booty Daddy style.
We don't say that name around here. It's Little Dick Booty Daddy now. Okay.
So yeah, he's getting out of prison. Also, that dovetails in nicely with my other who's back. Punk is back
Nice.
because I can now announce, and the full announcement of this festival lineup is going to be made today, Monday at 10 a.m. The Ocean's Calling Music Festival in Ocean City, Maryland. It's like a big deal. I've seen what the lineup's going to be. I can't say the other acts, but it's like 17-year-old me would bust a nut going to this festival. It's a pretty solid lineup.
Wait, when is the headliner for the day that you're playing going to be announced?
It's all going to
Today.
be announced
Oh.
today
Today.
at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
So
It is crazy.
It's
Yeah.
I
nuts.
thought you
No,
were
I
saying
was-
it right now.
I was sitting with you guys when it all came together. It's nuts.
So I think it's running September 30th through October 2nd. We're playing on that Saturday.
Love it.
And yeah, it should be a good time. So if you're in the Ocean City, Maryland area, come down, check it out. Tickets go on sale on Wednesday, May 25th. So that's this Wednesday. So it's going to be me, Roan, Robbie, Frankie, whole squad.
And Martin Shkreli.
And Martin Shkreli
Yeah, you
playing
really
there.
should. You should get him on.
We should bring
one.
You know what we should do?
For one song.
He should DJ our set.
With the Wu-Tang.
Oh, and Nick Hamilton, too. Nick Hamilton playing rhythm guitar. But we should get Shkreli on there DJing the Wu-Tang album.
Yeah. That would be great. All right, my who's back is Joel Embiid. He won the MVP finally. So I love this story. The Philadelphia City Council passed a resolution naming Joel Embiid most valuable Philadelphian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They literally, there's an actual document that lists it.
That must be just a laundry list of
I hope.
Yeah, we got to see who else is on that list.
I hope to God
Big
that they
Ant.
put this up as a banner in the Wells Fargo. I think it's the Wells Fargo Arena. It really is the Colts jokes come to life. Most valuable Philadelphian.
Okay, so I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, here comes Jake.
I think he's the first most valuable Philadelphian.
He might
the
be.
Inaugural. I voted for Doncic actually.
Yeah.
On that one, I had Luka.
I was Giannis for most valuable Philadelphian.
Jake
is back.
Tell us how that went.
Just made a poor decision eating wise tonight. I went with the crowd. I shouldn't have gone with the crowd.
So Jake, question for you.
Sounds like you just got caught drinking.
Yeah. Mom, I'm sorry. Someone pulled out the Rumplemints.
Bad influences.
We had a couple shots. Jake, 18th hole today.
Mm-hmm.
Walking up.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Thomas about to win the PGA Championship. Come back from 7 strokes down. Jim Nantz has the runs. Do you think he goes and takes a poop?
Oh.
Yeah, no.
I think
exactly.
we got to.
Okay.
I think you just answered that.
I think we have to find you, Jake.
I think you just answered that.
It's
A
the only way you
broadcaster
learn.
I
leaving
held
his
in for as long
microphone.
as possible.
Unbelievable.
You really sound like you got run over by a truck. You just pooped.
He's so disappointed in himself. I forgive you because of your disappointment.
I don't.
I mean, low key.
2-1 Heat.
It was low key. 2-1 Heat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're suspended for a month.
Thanks.
Okay, let's get to.
I've got Billy's who's back of the week.
Oh, okay. Low key.
Billy's who's back of the week is Jack Nicklaus.
Nice.
There was a lawsuit. There's a lawsuit being filed. No joke. This happened the day after Billy did his Jack Nicklaus thing. There's a company that owns Jack Nicklaus's name. He signed away the rights to his name to a marketing company.
I love it.
That would then bring in all the new ad deals and appearances and shit like that for him. So he doesn't have control over his own name. And apparently he's low-key been using his own name when he's not supposed to be using it. He's getting sued $180 million for using the name Jack Nicklaus for himself.
Wow.
He should just change his name to Jack Nicklaus.
Correct.
And this all would have been avoided. Billy was right.
Damn. That's crazy to give up your name.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it for the right amount of money.
Yeah, that seems like a Lou Pearlman early 2000s boy band deal.
Yeah.
Where you're like, yeah, let me just sign everything away.
I own your name for $50,000 up front. If you had told me that in
Cash?
1995, I'd be like, yep, okay, done.
No, easy.
My name's not that valuable.
Yeah. Okay, let's do Mark Titus. Before we get to Mark Titus, do you ever feel like you're always on? Work, friends, family, and expectation to be on 24/7? Well, we got the solution for you. It's called Coors Light, the greatest beer ever. And it's made to chill. It's the only beer that's literally made to chill, and that's Coors Light. The mountains and the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. We got some bottles sent to us this weekend. It was great to see. Hot weather, cold beer, nothing better. Coors Light, it is mountain cold refreshment, made to chill. So, when you need to take a second for yourself, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. CoorsLight.com/take. Thank you to Coors Light, our favorite beer. It also actually, I think, is a sponsor of Mark Titus's show. So, little synergy there. Coors Light, the greatest beer ever. Also the greatest podcast sponsor ever. Here he is, our good friend, Mark Titus. Okay, we now welcome on our very, very good friend, live in studio. It is Mark Titus. We are taping this on Wednesday. We're running it on Monday, so we're going to probably do some NBA predictions that will be very wrong.
So for right now, Jason Tatum's a fraud.
Jason Tatum's
Jimmy
a fraud.
Butler might be the best player in the world.
Okay, so let's start there. There's actually a good start because we had John Sally on last week, and he was basically like, I'm done. I don't do the who's the GOAT rankings. It's like the best player in a decade, you can say. and Kevin Durant's talked about this, like it's disrespectful to do a top 5 every other day. As someone who played, no big deal.
Yes.
Do you think that like whole like, hey, who's top 5 right now is just stupid?
I do, yeah. I think it's absolutely insane, but I'm also in this business where we have to talk about that stuff, so it's very confusing. I don't really know how to do it.
Right.
I don't know.
It's whoever lasts longest
right now.
Yeah.
Who's your top 5?
Can you tell?
It's whoever lasts longest.
It's whoever won the game and that we just got done watching. The best player on that team, is he the best player in the world? And the guy who lost needs more help. That's how you talk about it. Like Jason Tatum was great,
but Max Strus,
like because we're recording this again like after the Heat Celtics game 1. So that was my reaction last night, was that Jason Tatum needed more help and Jimmy Butler might be the best player in the world.
What do you think about this take that it was actually bad for Luka's development as a pro that they made it this far? It would have been better for him and better for the Mavericks.
You're going with like the macro, like the way this league works is like Jordan had to lose to the Celtics,
right?
And then the bad boys, and then he had to figure it out.
Not too much. It's the Trae Young. It's Trae Young. You can make the argument, that going to the Eastern Conference Final in 2021 was bad for Trae Young in the Hawks.
Is winning a title? Would winning a title actually be bad for Luka?
Yeah, you have to lose first.
Yeah,
and so with Trae Young, you could. The only counter argument against that is like the Hawks making the Eastern Conference Finals. That is their equivalent of a championship.
True.
That's like a dynasty actually for the city of Atlanta. Is if you make it that far. But with Luka, I wasn't truly believing it, but. You could be like, hey, if he lost in the second round, then the Mavericks would be more hard-pressed to put more people around him as opposed to just like making him be the guy and try to be the guy over and over and over again.
It's also very similar to the process with Philly. It's the dog chasing a car where like the Rams win a Super Bowl and everyone's like, yeah, but dude, they got no picks and they're salary cap out. And it's like so it's almost sports has become almost about the window than like winning the title.
That's PFT and that your thing when if Saban doesn't win a national title, you're like it's good for him. He can actually start recruiting.
Yeah, right. No, he can coach harder.
A fire gets lit underneath him. He's like, oh god damn it, I'm gonna go on a murdering spree next year.
We should do that. We should just change to be like fans of windows. Like we're just a big fan. Like if the Bills don't, I hope the Bills win a Super Bowl with Josh Allen. But if they don't, we'll be like. But they had the window.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like the goal is, I mean, isn't that that's kind of what the Celtics have become, and that's like the Daryl Morey plan is like you're not trying to actually win a title, you're trying to keep the window open as long as possible.
Right.
It's the championship is not the goal anymore. The dynasty.
The dynasty.
Yeah, right. You can't winning one. Anyone could do. It is actually. It does work in baseball. I do agree with it in baseball, where like Theo always said, like the goal is to make the playoffs every year because it's so random. What happens after the once you're in the playoffs, the roll of the dice is like just get there every year, and then eventually something will break your way.
Right.
Like rainstorm in Cleveland.
Think college basketball is a little like that. Like it's different groups of players every year or whatever, but I think like you kind of have your moments as programs where it feels sort of similar too. Like not to derail it from.
No, we should talk about it.
Talk about it. It's like Coach K is dead.
Yeah.
Now I know that you're a big Coach K fan. I know that your podcast is famously like massively
the number one Coach K podcast.
You know, off the top of your head, you know how much money he made as a percentage in 2020, as a percentage of his entire program, what they brought in terms of their revenue. How much do you think went?
It wouldn't be much because he's a leader of men and he doesn't do it for the money. He's on record as saying he doesn't do it for the money. So I would say he probably pulled in like $600,000.
Yeah,
it's for free. It's like 30 times that much. So he ended up getting like. I think the math breaks down to around 40% of all the revenue that Duke brings in for their basketball program went directly into Coach K's pocket.
He's Don Fanucci in Godfather, where he's just like, oh, that's mine.
Do you think Roy Williams purposely took less money because he knew K was taking so? Because that's like Carolina fans get really. They love pointing out that Roy was because the Duke point of view would be like, well, Coach K has the biggest brand in college basketball. He deserves to be paid that much, yada, yada, yada. But then right down the road, Carolina has a huge brand. The coach of Carolina could be making just as much, and Roy was making like $1.5 million a year.
Well, it's genius.
And I think he was doing it on purpose.
Yeah, it's genius to take less and then just make your money doing other like speaking engagements and fucking basketball camps and commercials. Like the Coach K salary is probably half of what he makes total. But it was funny because when Coach K's salary was released, it was that feeling, and I think everyone can relate to it, when you go on like a great bachelor party with your friends and you have the group text chain and it's a great time and everything's popping off, and then Monday you get back and maybe there's a couple stray ones and then nothing for a while, and then like a month later someone will think of something or a story and they'll hit it and you'll be like, oh fuck, that was awesome. When Coach K's salary gets released, Titus texted me and Tate, and it was like, oh, yeah, remember when we retired Coach K? That was awesome.
And then you go back, the history of our conversations are always just like in the month of March about Coach K. It was this year, and then there's nothing for 11 months, and then it was last March. And,
Look how right we were.
I'm going to miss him. Have you thought about like what you're going to do? Because your podcast, our podcast as well, there was a lot of Coach K content because he forced it on us with his retirement tour. What's like?
I don't think the party's over, Dan.
Okay,
good. I think like what nobody's talking about is that Coach K, this man is retired. He did so. You remember as soon as he retired, guys like you and I were like, I don't think he's done yet. I think he's going to come back. He lost to Carolina twice. He has to come back. And then Jay Williams goes on First Take, was it? And he was like, I think Coach K, the door might be open. So then Coach K does an interview. I think it was with Sean Farnham, where Coach K did an interview like right after the Jay Williams comments, and he said, definitively, I am done coaching at Duke University. I am not the coach. I'm ready to hand the reins over to John Shire. And he was wearing a Duke basketball polo. He was sitting in the Duke basketball head coach's office with a Duke basketball logo behind him. And he's like, the king was sitting on the throne, and he's like, I am not your king anymore. Please stop talking about this.
I don't know how much more clear I could be. I'm done with Duke University.
And then those of us that are like, I don't know if he's done. And then everyone's like, well, you're crazy for thinking he might not be done.
Right.
I'm going based off of what this man is doing. I think that's going to be interesting. I really do. Like, he's not going to go fishing, so he's going to be. I don't actually think he's going to coach Duke this year, but I do think he's going to be around the program. I have been told he hasn't given up his office.
Yeah, no, he never will.
That like his and my understanding is when you're no longer the coach, you pack up your shit, you get out. The new coach comes in. He has kept his office. John Shire, they had to figure something else out.
He's got a temporary office with like the makeshift cubicles they put up.
So K is going to be around, and I guess that's going to be maybe until K dies, he's going to be a content machine or a content goldmine, because there's always like the moment Duke loses 3 games in a row, we're going to be talking about is K going to take over and all that sort of stuff.
We can also have the conversation. We can play the what if game, because I feel kind of robbed that he never went to the NBA. I think it would have been great if he had gone to the NBA, because I'm positive that he would have sucked. He would have like quit on his team after half a year, gone back to college, and be like, hey, can I have my job back?
Yeah.
We can have the what if game, be like, Coach K would be a worse head coach than Calipari was when he was a head coach in the NBA.
Yes. That's why not?
Coach K is the worst NBA coach to never have coached in the NBA.
Yeah. Yes, that's a fact. Speaking of Cal, we're going to do our Kentucky Sports Radio hit.
When's that?
I think June 6th, I want to say.
Something like that. We've been cherry picking a couple stats here and there. We've got a guy that we use on this program, Stathole Sports, that has done some great research for us. We think this year we're going to have to flip it. We're going to have to be like, Coach Cal needs more time.
Yeah.
Right. He's building something. Yeah.
Right.
You guys are being impatient.
Like, you ran Brad out of town.
Right.
You got to bring him back and have him be like officially named as the coach in waiting of Kentucky.
And not only that, but just lean into what Cal really cares about is just draft picks. Just list all the draft picks and be like,
salaries,
listen, guys,
max contracts that his guys have signed.
Yeah, total NBA earnings is something that we'll have to look up. Also, you want to talk about window. With Cal, like, your window's always open.
Yes.
The way that he recruits, it's like you've got the biggest window, probably the longest running window.
That's a great point. That Cal might have invented the window at the college level, where because when Kentucky doesn't win a national championship, he's quick to remind everybody about like the draft picks he has, the recruits coming in, that the window is still open. The Kentucky window is still open. There's always next year. Kentucky is the number one, like, there's always next year program.
Yeah, but, I think they're the bluest of the bloods.
Yeah.
Right?
I would agree with that.
Like,
I would agree with that.
If you hire somebody to replace Coach Cal, I don't know who you think you're going to get, but his blood's not going to be that blue. Like, Coach Cal brings in a certain element, a certain like spotlight to the program that you won't find from anybody else off the street.
Yeah.
Were you shocked by Jay Wright? It is shocking.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, how could you not be?
You sound really shocked.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, well, you're asking me what, like a month after.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't
I'm not
seen you in
still
a while.
shocked. I'm not shocked.
I'm still every day I wake up and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Really?
It. Jay Wright, not there.
Jay Wright, he always seemed like smarter than everybody else. That was why he was a great coach. So I think like maybe part of him was like, I don't need to do that. I don't need. I honestly wonder if some part of him saw Coach K and was like, that is not me. I don't want that to be me. I don't want to be 75 years old.
I don't want to be fodder.
Trying to
for everyone.
And then telling everybody
Coach K killed Coach J.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And I respect it, man. Like if I was a lot of these guys, I would retire the second I get a chance to and go right off in the sunset.
Now are you the NIL like is changing everyone's like
I do think that.
Yeah.
I do think that. I do believe that, and it's weird because when you talk to people behind the scenes and off air, everybody is quick to tell you that it's not necessarily bullshit, but it's just like different. The game has changed so much that I think the coaches that were good at the previous game are not as good, or like they just don't recognize what the game has become. But if you ask them on air, if you put Jay Wright in the seat and asked him, he'd be like, no, that had nothing to do with it. But I do think if you got him off air and like got some true serum in him, he'd be like, I can't do this. I don't want to try to figure out what this landscape is.
Which is very funny because Coach, like, it's the first time coaches' salaries have gone crazy, and now essentially it's like you just have to do your job more.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, fuck that.
Well, you have I was talking to a mid-major coach at the Final Four, and he told me two of his better guys were told him like that week that they were transferring. And they were two guys that were starters, two guys that he gave a ton of minutes to, two guys that had great seasons, two guys that went into his office and said, thanks so much, Coach. We love you. I love my time here. Everything was great. Now I'm going to go use the opportunity that you provided me to go somewhere else. And he was like, it blew my mind because for so long the transfers were, fuck you, you didn't play me enough.
Right.
I'm going to go somewhere to get minutes. Now it's like, thank you so much for doing everything you promised you would do. Now I'm going to try to go to Kentucky.
I think Drew Valentine will be fine though.
Yeah.
Is that who it was?
No.
How much money? Actually, maybe not how much. What would you have done in NIL deals when you were in college?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What types of organizations
money.
would have
the
been
Club
hitting you
Trillion
up?
brand.
Yeah.
Club Trillion or like local businesses.
Yeah. Would you have been one of those guys who like does the fake, buy a Club Trillion for charity? Or would you have been like, no?
I did do that.
Whoops. All right. Would you? So
I did do that.
Would you be making money off Club Trill?
I was told we sold shirts my senior year, and the number I was told was that I raised $55,000 for one of the local charities in Columbus.
Wow!
And the guy
I would have matched, by the way, if we'd known you back then. I would have.
I would have doubled.
How many Club Chill shirts did everyone in this room buy? It was for sick kids too, by the way.
I would have doubled. I would have doubled.
Yeah.
So he would have quadrupled.
And the guy who runs the charity still treats me like I'm a saint, and is still like if I called him right now, he would clear a schedule and make time to talk to me on the phone, and like just he thinks that I walk on water because he'll just pull me aside and be like, you were 21, 22 years old, and you had the heart to help these sick kids. And I've tried to explain to him a million times. I couldn't keep the money. Like if I could keep the money,
we wouldn't know each other.
Yeah, we would know each other.
That's great.
No, it's great. It was really frustrating for me because I lost my scholarship. I was actually put on scholarship for 2 years. Not that I deserved it, but they had extra scholarships, and I had my first years at Ohio State, I was on scholarship. And then I got my scholarship pulled because we had academic problems as a program because we had so many guys going to the NBA early. And so Coach Mata told me he was pulling my scholarship. I had the best GPA on the team, and we were punished for academic reasons. So I didn't have a scholarship, but I also couldn't profit off my name. So I was like stuck in this weird no man's land of like,
yeah, you're the poster child of why the NIL should work. Now, did Thad Matta have a sense of humor where he like did one of those big viral videos of the team pulling your scholarship? Because that would be funny.
That actually would have been funny.
Mark, we got your parents here, and your parents are just bawling. Yeah. They're crying. They're like, we don't know how we're going to afford this.
They have to sign a check at the end of it.
That would have been great.
Idea.
Yeah.
So you got a scholarship initially to go there, like right out of high school?
No, I went to be a manager, then I quit that because I was lied to about what being a manager was. Then
why? What was being a manager?
I was told I was like going to be a practice player by John Gross, who's the head coach at Akron now. He was an assistant. He used to
good tourney run, Illinois.
Yeah. He told me, he's like, if you're a manager, you will be you'll be able to practice with the guys. He's like, you don't have to come in every day, but like when you're here, we'll have you run scout team. And I was like, that sounds cool. Like I don't have to be fully committed because I understand how much time commitment this is. So I was like, I'll be a normal student, but like 3 days a week, I'll come practice with Division I players who happen to be some of my friends. That's a great setup. I'll come do that. And on day one, they had me wiping up Greg's sweat and filling up water bottles and filming practice. And I was so shitty about it that I quit. And then they asked me to come back because they didn't have enough guys to do 5-on-5.
Wow.
And, that's how I got on the team. And then they didn't have they weren't using all the scholarships. So you get like 13 scholarships, and we only had like 11 guys on scholarships. So they just said, do you want one? And I was like, yeah. So I went from normal student at Ohio State to 5 weeks later, I was on scholarship for what ended up being a Final Four basketball
I love
team.
that that's how you got your scholarship, too. They were like, Thad Matta was like, looked under the couch.
Yeah,
he's
like,
we got another one here. All right, you take it.
You have to wonder how many people have like quit their student manager job on the first day.
Yeah, right. Tried to follow
that. Or like the other way around, how many people just accepted the manager job on the first day, even though it wasn't what they wanted, and maybe that's the next Jordan, but they didn't have the balls like you to stand up and be like, no, I'm better than this.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a great what if.
Were you what schools were you thinking about going to besides Ohio State? Were you like, do you ever think maybe I should have just gone, Division III or smaller Division I and played?
No, I thought about it after my sophomore year. Because my freshman year I was fat on the team because I didn't think I was going to play basketball. So like I graduate high school, all summer I do no working out of any kind. I'm just getting ready for college. And then I get put on the team, and I was just trying to get back in shape. We won the Big Ten. We were ranked number 1 for a few weeks. And I didn't play, and that made sense to me. I was like, we have one of the best teams in the country. It kind of checks out that my fat ass wouldn't get in there. The next year, we didn't even make the tournament. We ended up winning the NIT. And I didn't think I should be getting a ton of minutes, but I was like watching John Diebler shoot 29% from the three-point line as a freshman, and I was like, I don't know, maybe throw me in there and see what I could do, and maybe I'll make 1 or 2. And Coach Matta, after that season, told me he's never going to play me because he actually recruited these other guys, and he like explained it to me. He's like, I put resources into getting these guys. He's like, you just showed up on my doorstep one day. So he said, I will never play you. Or like he was really nice about it. Weirdly,
right?
But that's like him essentially admitting, like, I just don't want to admit that I was wrong.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's when I completely gave up, and I decided either I'm going to transfer to a tiny school and try to like average 20 a game at like a Division III school, or I'm just gonna like ride out these next 2 years and just have a sick time riding the bench and
try to save some sick kids.
Try to save some sick kids.
Yeah, I think you made the right choice.
So that was that.
Yeah.
What's the best game that you've ever played?
Good question.
Thanks.
Great question.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know. How do you answer that?
Are you?
I had some great practices at a.
Yeah, no. Tell me about it.
Is that what you want to say?
Yeah,
you want me to go over my best trillions I ever had?
Yeah, like what legends?
I played. There was one game I played. So I usually never got in before the final media timeout. That was when the final media timeout hits. That's when I start stretching. And I'm like, all right, it could happen at any time now if it's a big blowout. There was one time when there was like 5.5 minutes left. We were playing Iowa at home, and we were beating the shit out of them. And Coach Matta turned to me and he's like, "Mark, get in there." And I was like, "No." I was like, "That's not. What are you talking about?" I was like, "Coach, look at the clock." He's like, "No." He's like, I don't want our guys to get hurt. We've had a tough week of practice." He's like,
"I need you get hurt."
Yeah, I need you to burn the clock. And oh my God, that was the 5.5 minutes is very, very different from 1 minute of just dribbling the clock out. Like 5.5, because at that point they still had like some of their better players.
They're playing.
Oh my God. So that was definitely the most memorable game I ever played at Ohio State. Was that I didn't do anything. I still did the same song and dance of just like running up and down the court and.
The Tony Snell.
Yeah, I still did.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I still did the Snell.
I played basketball with Titus this morning, and one, he can still shoot the fucking lights out. It was great. It was like awesome to watch because we basically got there. First 5 minutes, he missed everything. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm so out of I haven't played in so long." And then like he hit one. and he hit like 50 in a row. And I was like, okay. And I also learned that Titus is that annoying guy who will shoot a 3 and say short, and it'll be nothing
Every single
but net.
time.
Nothing but net. It's like, oh, short, and it's just a fucking perfect swish. I'm just like, all right, cool.
Can I say this? And I mean this not because we're on air, but I genuinely mean this, and I think it's important that your listeners understand this. You're much better at basketball than I thought.
Yeah, you said that, and I was like,
stunned.
I think that's a compliment. That's
No,
like when
I
people
was-
are like, you're not as fat as I think. Like, thanks.
Well, I watched the video of you playing in
oh,
was it
yeah.
LA?
That was, yeah.
You guys are hamming it up,
Yes,
obviously.
that,
but
well,
still.
I was, but yeah, they were. A couple of the guys had never like touched a basketball.
But I mean,
yes.
to be fair, like people that would then watch, I don't know. It's you blur the lines well enough of like what's real and what are you hamming up and whatever. So like to see you got a good stroke.
Yeah, shout out Swish House. We just go and get shots up. And
Yeah.
it's like the best thing ever.
You have
'Cause I
zero.
miss playing basketball.
You have zero stamina though. I did notice that.
By the end,
by the end,
dude, it was a disaster.
Did you guys play 5-on-5?
No, we Swish House is this place I've been going where they basically like it's like you basically run basketball practice.
Yeah.
And so you run through a bunch of drills, agility drills, shooting drills. You get like I don't know, we got like 300 shots up each, but by the end it was just my shirt was soaked and I couldn't walk and you could tell it's like this guy put him on the line at the end of a game because he won't be able to hit anything. Because it's just it gasses out.
I think I could. You have a great natural stroke though, honestly. I think we could work with that.
Yes.
I think I want to run like a sports media basketball camp for
Who?
everyone.
All right, so let's
like,
do it.
we could get
Let's
everybody
jump off there. Who's
and I
your
teach
starting
everybody
five?
how-
Who's your starting
Yeah,
five
shoot.
in sports media?
PFT, could you play?
I can touch the rim.
I did see that.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
I
I
did
can
see
touch
that.
it. A lot of people are like, "Yo, they box themselves into a little trap of like, because when I'm staying next to the hoop, it's a bad visual because optical illusion wise, it looks like it's twice as high up as I am.
Yeah.
But either they have to admit that I either have like a 48-inch vertical leap and I'm able to touch this rim somehow, or 2, that I'm not actually 5'6".
Yeah, you really put him in a box.
I box him in pretty nice. Also, I'm always on the lookout for a rim that's like 3 inches shorter
Yes.
than all the other rims
Yeah.
because they exist somewhere in the city. So I look at them, I take a mental note, and I'm like, I'm gonna go back to that one and just grab it.
So are you the guy at a pickup game that is, as everyone else is trying to feel out the ball and get their legs warmed up and everything, you're just jumping up and popping the rim to intimidate everyone in the
No,
gym?
so
to,
like,
like,
Watch this, guys.
I can't pop the rim. I'll jump up. I'll like hit the net really hard. Try to like swoop it over the top. I'll just jump up, like hit the backboard. No, honestly, my game is basically like I will bring the ball up the court. I can dribble okay, and then I'll just pass it as soon as I can.
You know what you should start doing? I had a buddy who used to do this. He couldn't dunk, but he like when you're at a pickup game and it's warming up, he would jump and climb the rim and then like loudly like bang on the rim, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what was that?"
Yeah.
He would just pull himself up off the net, and he would just fucking bang on the rim.
I'll tell you, I should not be in your starting 5. I should be like a
Yeah,
backup,
give us a starting 5.
a backup point guard that comes in and I exist on the court for like 2 minutes, then I get the fuck off.
Yeah,
That's
all media. So like Stephen A. Smith, wet jumper.
Not former players though.
Not former players. Can't
well,
play.
so let me ask you guys this: do I count as a former player in this thing? 'Cause,
Yes.
like anytime these hypotheticals come up, I can never tell like if I'm not picked, is that because people think I'm like an actual player? If I am picked, should I be insulted by that because you're saying that like I was not like?
Yeah,
I don't actually count as a.
Why don't you fill out your starting 5 around you? So
Yeah,
so it's
there we
like
go.
your team that you would pick if you were captain.
can't have played in the NBA.
I think I got to start with Russillo, right?
Yes,
Like if I don't say Russillo at 1,
Enforcer.
he's
He's down bad now.
yes he is.
Did you text him out of nowhere? Just be like, "Hey, I'm sorry." Just text him.
No,
be like,
you
hey,
should.
Man, you doing
I
okay?
should wait like a week later.
No, text him right now. Text him
And
right
be
now.
like, "Hey, are you doing all right?"
Be like, hey man, I know it's been a few days, but sorry about Chris
Hey
Paul.
man, I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah,
Let me
because
text you right
I
now.
called him on Monday
Let me
night.
text-
He's like, I've never felt like a bigger loser because everyone keeps calling me like someone died in my family, and it's just Chris Paul lost a playoff game, which happens every year, literally every year since he's been in the NBA. He hasn't won a title. Yeah, just be like, guys.
Hey man, wanted to give you a little time to process everything.
This is great.
but also just wanted to make sure you're good.
I actually think that Russillo probably received more "Hey, are you all right?" check-in messages than Chris Paul did.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Hold on. Hey man, wanted to give you. That's what I'm going with. Hey man, wanted to give you a little time to process everything, but also just want to make sure you're good. Hit send. Right,
yes, beautiful. Oh, he's gonna be like, "What the fuck? God
lose this number."
I hope he's recording right now.
Yeah.
So I think I think the problem with that was, do you think that Ryan actually cares about Chris Paul that much, or do you think like the moment that he realizes it's not going to happen, he now is put in a position where he it's less about like I wanted Chris Paul to be successful, more about like I'm gonna have to eat shit about this.
Yeah, I don't know if he cares about Chris Paul the human. He might a little bit.
Yeah, he might.
You think
a lot.
So?
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, I mean when he had that whole like Chris Paul cares more than everyone else. I want him to be my son.
But that also might be because we fall into this trap a lot too, where we care about an athlete, but it's mostly because we want to feel right about our take.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Or
right.
we're friends. I don't think he's friends with Chris Paul.
What is the I was very heavy on the University of Virginia basketball when they lost to UMBC. I thought I had Virginia winning the national championship. They lost to a 16 seed by 20. I did not jump off the bandwagon. I wrote it the next season. They did win the national championship. So I kind of know what Ryan's going through. So
if you did this analogy,
Chris Paul's going to win it next year.
Well, I was going to say, if you did this analogy, Virginia basketball is 37 years old, and they probably only have a year or two left in their whole history.
Have either of you had a situation like that beyond your favorite team? Because I asked you this off air day, and you're like, well, my favorite team suck ass, and that sucks. But I mean like a take where you're like, this guy's a fraud. He's definitely a fraud. And then now you have to watch him win an MVP or win a title or something along those lines.
Yeah, so mine usually the reverse, where it's like I like 2 years ago, or was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, where I was like the Ravens are frauds, and they had the 1 seed. And like if they had won, I would have had to eat so much shit. Yeah. They lost to the Titans, so I turned to be like right about it. But yeah, you definitely get a point. I also think for Russillo, we're part of the problem. It's an argument that he's arguing that Chris Paul is really, really good, and we're arguing he has no title, so he sucks.
Right.
So it's like when we can just keep doing that, it's got to be crazy frustrating for someone who actually like watches the games and like has nuanced takes like Russillo to see idiots like us be like, yeah, but no rings, bro.
Right.
So
and then but then even if he does win a ring, it doesn't fully count because of who his teammates were, like what the circumstances, who was hurt, and like
we would have absolutely found a way out of that.
Put an asterisk on
Have you had that PFT of like a take you were married to and you're like, I'm 100% right, I know I'm right?
There are a lot of them. I mean, I'm wrong. I'm wrong all the time.
Oh, all the time.
But
we all are.
Yeah, if you don't admit that you're wrong, then you're just not trying hard enough. That's what I'm saying. Like then your takes are too vanilla. So I mean, I was wrong about Ryan Tannehill for a little bit, but then he proved me right ultimately. Right. Okay. So I was like, you know, I had always been saying Ryan Tannehill will never take the next step. He was always he's going to take the next step guy. Just wait till next year. Yeah. And then, you know, he got pretty good for like a season and a half, 2 seasons, and then he regressed. And really, it's mostly the way that he ended the last season with those 3 interceptions in the playoffs against the Bengals, where I can be like, see, I told you all along. I was right. Forgetting the entire body of evidence that took place like a year and a half before that, where he played like an above-average quarterback for most of the time. But I'm sure that there are probably millions of examples of things that I've been usually, 1,000,000% wrong about. Usually
what PFT and I do is we're wrong, and then we switch, and then we're double wrong. Yeah, like I thought the Bengals were like not a Super Bowl caliber team. Like I was like, I think the Titans are going to beat them. Ryan Tannehill threw 3 picks. I think the Chiefs are going to beat them. That second half happened. Then we get to the Super Bowl, and I'm like, I believe in the Bengals, and then they lost. Yep. So it's like that happens all the time.
So that's the old Skip Bayless. He said, "I was wrong about." Hang on, I'm just reading now. It's funnier than I remember. He was talking about the Clippers. This was, I believe, last year. I was wrong about being wrong about the Clippers. Yeah. In a shock to me, I was ultimately right. Now they have a very good shot at winning it all, as I originally predicted. So you can like double back and triple back on yourself.
Tate introduced me to the phrase "right logic, wrong pick."
Yeah,
which,
that material change or
I like that right logic, wrong pick.
Yeah, he was talking about a game where he's like, "This is going to be just a rock fight of a game. You know, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be low scoring." And I think that favors Team A in a game like this. And then Team B, it is a rock fight, and Team B wins. And then he's like, I told you.
Yeah, right. I was right.
Or Team A wins in a blowout, and then you're like, I was right about Team A, but I was wrong about the rock fight.
Right, exactly.
Right. Yeah, you can always give yourself an escape hatch. I think that's probably what frustrates Russillo the most, because he actually when he gives a take, he thinks about it, and that's why people love him, because he's giving you actual, like, this is how I feel. He doesn't give himself an escape hatch. What'd he say?
He hasn't said it. I was gonna say, I think what might frustrate him the most now is me texting him like 6 days after the fact.
Yeah, but that's funny.
To say, hey man,
he's gonna hear this and be like, oh wow, he picked me first overall.
Yeah, that's good. True. Okay, yeah, that's a great point. We should go back to that. Russillo, I would take one. I've never seen him play. I've seen him shoot a basketball. I've seen video of him shoot a basketball. That's a good. Yeah, he's got a good vert. Yeah. He knows the game.
You saw the photo dump.
Yeah, I saw the photo dump.
Yeah.
He had to clear up some space in his camera. We're going to get back to Mark Titus in a second, but before we do, there's a lot happening in sports right now, and Sling has it all for the absolute best price. If you've been thinking about cutting the cord, now is the time. To start with, Capital One's The Match is going to feature Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers teaming up to face Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. TNT will exclusively televise the epic 12-hole event. It's a perfect amount of holes. Wednesday, June 1st, beginning at 6:30 p.m. live from Wynn Las Vegas, the only golf course on the Las Vegas Strip. Sling will let you stream TNT live, whether you're at home watching on your flat screen or on the go with a phone or tablet and connected to the internet. Then, starting June 2nd, you'll be able to follow the NBA Finals and the NHL Finals. Events on ABC will be simulcast on ESPN3, and right now you can get all that for half the price during your first month. So, that's less than $18. That's lower than any other streaming service right now. $18, live sports on TV, when it matters, where it matters. You'll also be able to follow the Barstool Sports channel, which features a nonstop feed of Barstool's most popular shows. We've got Stool Scenes on there, The Yak, Brandon Walker Show, Kelly Keegs on the Other Line Show. Whatever you're into, Sling is where you can find the live sports that you love all in one place. Go to sling.com/Barstool. Sign up now. Try it for half the price during your first month. Sling.com/Barstool. Sign up now. Try it for half the price during your very first month. And now here's more Mark Titus.
Should we pick SVP?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is height out there?
At the 5?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And you have chemistry, built-in chemistry with SVP and Russillo. Right. So you're like good. They're playing a little two-man game. You can always rely on that.
I'm trying to think of who else.
Windhorse.
Who else?
Windy, Beast down low.
The ground mound of rebound.
Yeah, who else would I throw out there? I'm trying to think of people who haven't, because I guess there's not a lot of guys or girls who have not played who talk about the game. You could also go cross-sport. Like
Stephen A. Smith wouldn't be a bad pick.
Yeah, I think like Romo's probably sick. Right, but he's an athlete.
I feel like former professional athletes should be off the list.
Like
for
Terrell Owens, the Celebrity All-Star Game.
I think Jim Nance could probably throw some bows down low. You got Twin Towers, Jim Nance and Scott Van Pelt. That'd be nice.
Gus Johnson.
Does like Bill Raftery count as a former player at this point?
No, I don't think anymore. Yeah, I think you could throw him out. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time that he's
been a minute.
Yeah. You got to spend time with him. He's the best.
He is the king of holding court. Like that's what I think of the phrase like holding court. I think of Bill Raftery at a bar in New York City, and he doesn't even do it on purpose. It's him and Bob Huggins in the college basketball community. They don't even do it on purpose. They just like walk into a bar, they sit down like they would if there were 1 million people in the bar, if there was nobody in the bar, and then just gravity works its magic and people just slowly start hounding them and just listening to all their stories. He's amazing. He wouldn't know if I'm going to introduce myself to him every single time I see him. There's zero chance he knows me or there's any world in which he would remember me. But yeah, like I every time I'm around that guy, I just kind of like slowly gravitate towards wanting to hear whatever the hell he's talking about. He's the best.
I always picture him holding a crystal glass with brown liquor in it, just like neat.
Yeah, not even drinking it.
Yeah, just holding it.
Right.
Like he's getting drunk. But he never takes a sip.
Yeah, you never see him drink it.
He seems to have a story about everything. Every bar in this, especially like New York. He's got like every. I hate this city. I hate New York so much. Every time I come here, I really do. This is my least favorite place on earth. And I think Bill Raftery.
What about the Garden?
Yeah, or like Kiev. Right now,
that's true. That's a good point.
I've
never been though, so I don't know. You can't trust the media what they're saying about it. Maybe it's nicer than.
I feel like Kiev right now is probably like spirits are high. Like right now, no, think about it. Right now, you've defended your city against a fucking empire.
That's true.
And like the camaraderie there's got to be off the charts.
Yeah.
No comment. I believe. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, so
you're not up to date on it. What do you think about Roe v. Wade?
What's your take? Who you got winning the?
Let's go hot take. Ready?
You're in the
Roe v.
prediction.
Wade.
You're in the
Pro or
predictions
four?
business. Who you got winning that one? Who you got in your Roe v. Wade bracket?
Well, I should put it in a parlay. Should be like, all right, I got the Warriors. I got Roe v. Wade.
what's the spread on the Supreme Court? I think I got them striking it down by 1.5.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
All right, so the media team.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got Windhorse.
We got
Scott
Windhorse.
Van
I
Pelt.
like this team.
Oh, I
Ryan
didn't finish
Solo.
my thought. Raftery, I was gonna say he's the one. He's listening to that man talk about New York City. That's like the one man I think could like get me to like the city. That's what I was gonna say.
I do think when anyone talks about New York City basketball, it gets like romantic. Like I said, we had John Sally on. It was like, hey, just tell us about New York City basketball for a second.
What about Stan Van Gundy?
Oh,
He can bring the ball
We're
up
just
court.
we're just beef.
I was
We are
gonna
beef.
say
Have
I'm
you
worried
seen
about
him?
our cardio.
We're an
Our team's
we're a
cardio
90s
is
team.
Have you
half
seen-
court or
Have
full
you seen
court
him
game?
dribble?
No,
got
Stan.
handles.
Stan's
Yeah.
got handles, like
Big time.
absolute. He's your point guard.
Does he count as a former player?
Yeah, I guess.
guess
Well,
technically, you know what I mean? Like, we're
I don't
getting
think
into
so.
hazy
I think it's
territory
been
with
I
that.
think
long
he,
enough.
like ate himself out of former player.
Yeah.
Wait, so it's Russillo, Titus,
Tate's not bad, by the way.
Tate.
I'll shout out Tate.
Yeah.
Tate could be on the team. He's
I
not,
like
he's
this,
not,
though.
He's not bad.
Stan Van and Windhorse too. It's like nice because you can do a sub package where it's like they probably complement each other.
Stephen A has to be able to play a little bit.
I've
right?
seen a video of him airballing a shot, which, I mean, I guess we all airball shots, but that's always tough.
I mean, if I was Stephen A, I would never ever take a shot.
No,
it's like
ever.
when you're a politician and you're like traveling the country and there's cameras all around you.
Yeah.
You should never shoot a basketball.
Yeah.
Because like
Swing
it's
a bat.
probably not
Yeah.
going to go in.
Yeah.
And if you miss, that's going to be replayed all
Let's
the time.
like JJ Redick shooting free throws at the Duke game. When
Yeah,
he
which
missed the,
he missed it, which is like,
You're
what's going on here?
Like, why would you agree to do this? There's no.
Against Miami, this is Stan
Watch Stan
Van.
Van Gundy.
He's got handles.
Give me the ball. He says, "Give me the rock. I'm gonna give you guys some pointers."
You know what it is? It's, oh wow! You always have to be afraid. I would take him in a second. Yeah,
And then he plays it off, and he's like, "Do stuff like that." Do stuff.
because there is that guy in every like pickup game in America. The short fat guy that everyone's like, nah, and then he just starts whapping
Yeah.
threes. And you're like, whoops,
Yeah.
he's amazing.
Yeah.
Smooth. They're always smooth, and you're like, okay, this like at one point in their life they were really good at basketball.
I would take Stan. I'd put Stan on the team,
So
but I just
you, Russillo, SVP, Stan.
who's running
Van,
point on this team?
I think Windy.
I think we got to get some diversity on this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're building this like it's like the old Kentucky.
Oh,
team.
your old colleague Van Lathan. I think he would be pretty good. I do. Did you overlap with him?
No, I don't think I never met him.
Where did it go wrong with you in the ringer?
Go back to Roe v. Wade. Go back to the Roe v. Wade questions.
Let's break that down for a second.
Oh man.
I heard. I think Jacoby is good from Jalen.
Jacoby's
I'm
probably
pretty sure
good.
he's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good.
Jacoby, shout out him. He's
Yeah.
he could play.
Yeah.
He'll be on the team.
Yeah. I think Van Lathan's a good pick.
All right.
I'll
I'll trust you.
Yeah.
I've never played with him.
He's also got like Van Lathan to me. We had dinner with him. I don't know, maybe a year ago. Talked to him every now and then. He seems like a guy that would be just like everyone instantly respects in the locker room.
Yeah.
And like a glue guy that people like when he talks, people listen kind of thing. So I would put him in there.
All right.
Maybe Jamie Erdahl, backup point guard.
Oh yeah.
She seems like she'd foul the shit out of you. Like,
She played too, right?
yeah,
She played at OU, right? At
Think
Ohio.
so?
I think so.
Maybe.
I think so.
She seems.
But that's
like,
what I mean. Like Jamie Erdahl is, again, it's like on the one hand you feel like it's respectful to throw her on the team, but on the other hand, maybe she's listening to this and she's like, "What the hell? Like,
Yeah.
I had a great playing career.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
why do you?"
Yeah.
Rachel
Yeah.
Nichols, LeBron stopper.
Yeah. Oh man. What was I? Oh fuck! I had one other thing I had to ask you, and now I can't think of it. Billy, what's your question for Mark? Don't say how was your Saturday. Actually, you can. It's Monday.
Billy, don't fall for his
What
tricks.
does your shirt say?
It's Smockin' TC, Billy. I'm here for the dozen trivia.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Tune
didn't know
in
if
this
you were,
week.
Like, Trill Ballins, Club Trillion.
You thought I was Trill Ballins?
There was a second. There was a second I thought that.
Just for a moment of
Like what? When was the second? Like when I was here?
No, it was back when,
today,
like,
or like when I
everything.
first.
No, when I knew everything through Twitter. I was like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
Trill stuff, Club Trillion.
Yeah.
There's so many Trill.
There's signs
I
everywhere.
think that's how I ended up on the team. I'm the only guy that doesn't work at this company.
Yeah.
That's taking part in the dozen.
So many
Yes.
different Trill burgers.
And,
I was like, is Club Trillion another Trill burger?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It counts. Trill's from Indianapolis, so I am too, and maybe that's.
Yeah.
A lot of people
That
don't
doesn't-
realize it actually took me like several years to figure this out about Trill Ballins after following him online for a while. That his name, Trill Ballins, is just taking Phil Collins
yeah.
and changing the start of each word.
Do you remember when we went to the
Yes.
Wrigley for?
One of the best games ever. It was the Miguel Montero Grand Slam, was it not?
And Javi Baez stole home that game.
Yeah, and
game
the
one,
bleachers,
and then LCS.
yeah, and it was like it was the three of us. PFT had a broken foot. It was PFT, myself, you, Trill Ballins. I think Chaps was with us.
Chaps was with us.
It was a great crew.
Hank, were you there?
Hank's not here in the room.
Hank's not in the room.
He's
I
a
thought
he's
a. Who's over there?
That's memes.
Oh, hey, sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah, sorry,
I
we
was
didn't
just assuming
introduce
that
you.
was
No, Hank is our boss now. He works upstairs. He wears a suit.
He never is in the room when you do the show.
He wears a
never.
suit. He's
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
No, he's
Oh my God.
yeah, he can fire
Well,
any of us.
that's exciting.
He could hire you and then fire you immediately.
He could actually cancel Titus and Tate. He'd just call up someone at Fox and be like, "Hey, numbers aren't good. Get rid of it."
No, you just be like, do me a favor, ask those guys. Be like, okay, yeah, I owe you one, Hank.
He could. Be careful. That's
Jake
what
Marsh
it
is in the room.
Yeah. Jake Marsh.
I'm a Jake Marsh fan.
You did not include Jake in your starting
Yeah,
five.
Jake, what's your game like? What's
Papa Shot King.
Yeah, I can play Pop a Shot. I can call the game for you.
Yeah, there we go.
you know Rothstein? Have you talked to him about playing basketball? That he proudly
Playing basketball?
What?
I
No,
love this
Mark.
about John Rothstein, that he's very open about this, that he will proudly tell you that he's never touched a basketball.
Yeah, right. Like he's allergic to him.
Because a lot of the guys that talk about sports, you get a little insecure about, like, is my level of competency playing good enough for me to talk about it? John is not that guy. John's like, I straight up do not touch a basketball, but here's who's going to win the A10 this year and why. And it is absolutely hilarious to me that he's that way. But Jake, you're not that way. You play.
Look,
Yeah.
I
can get hot from 3, but I
Yeah.
can also go 0 for 8 the next game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. I have a Jake Marsh adjacent question that is relevant to this conversation. We're talking about retirement tours. Jim Boeheim, will he retire before he kills another person, or is it going to be like 2 and then he retires?
They said this every show.
Well, Jake, you set us up for it last time.
We actually love Buddy and
Yeah, Buddy and Jimmy.
We
listen to
actually
this
I
show.
love him. No, I love him. I mean,
Jim,
he's
yeah, we're just having fun.
something
Jim.
we have to
just,
say.
just,
Yeah, no,
just
we're
some lighthearted ribbing
guys
about
busting balls.
accidental vehicular manslaughter.
He's gonna just go
Just-
forever, though, is he not?
No,
We're certainly not going to break.
He's gotta he's gotta see his. You want to talk about windows? This man sees his window with K, right?
Yeah.
Like K's out of the way.
Yeah, the front one.
Yeah, there it was. I was about to say it, but I didn't want to say it. Yep.
Oh man,
I'm sorry.
it's just so
Like,
easy.
Like, no offense.
Yeah.
You know?
no, none.
No offense.
No.
Absolutely no offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like he's gonna coach forever though.
He
right?
he's losing all his friends though. I think Kay was his only friend.
If he, because his sons are done right now, Jake.
Yeah.
His sons are. Jerry McNamara is still there. But
Yeah.
His other sons are off the team.
Buddy's at the combine's going on right now.
I wish
right.
they should have a father-son rule where like the Boeheims should be able to play for as long as Jim is still there.
You should get like
Like, there should be a
You
45-year-old
should just get
Buddy
like
Boeheim.
one. You should get one franchise tag for college now.
Yeah,
that should be the franchise tag. Is that this guy can play for as long as we want.
Yeah, it's my rule of like you can go back. So I think it should be all sports.
Yeah.
and it should be as long as you graduated from there. You can go back at any time.
play any sport.
Like I've always said, like the argument is so simple because you just say, "Would you like to watch Tim Tebow play at Florida this fall?"
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. The answer is yes.
But he can't. We've talked about this before. But he can He can play football, or he can't play football. He has to play something else.
No, he can play football.
He has to play baseball.
Every team gets one player that they had that has to have graduated from that college, and they can, like, Tom Brady could retire from the Bucs and play a season for Michigan.
Why not?
Like, how incredible would that be?
Coach K goes back to Army.
Yeah, right. Like, this would be
final run.
It would make sports so much fun where it's like, all right, what are we gonna who are we gonna use this on? Is this guy washed up? Like, or do we want to keep him, around? Like Devin Harris on the Badgers. I don't even know where Devin Harris is now. I think he retired a while ago, right?
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah,
he's
got retired. Or like a guy like Sam Decker, who's a friend of ours. He's actually playing great overseas. Great career. I think they won a championship. But at some point with NIL, he's like, oh, I could just live it like back in Wisconsin. I could play for the Badgers and make a shitload of money. This would be fun.
Do you think Greg Gard would bring Sam Decker off the bench like Bo Ryan did his freshman year?
Yes, probably.
Do you think he would?
You asked about the take that I've probably been wrong about. Tom Izzo being overrated. I was wrong about that for a while.
You said he was overrated.
I wanted to be the first person to say that Tom Izzo is overrated. So I think I accomplished that, and then I've been waiting that out. It's starting to look more and more like it's like correct adjacent now. I'm letting it age like a fine wine. But as I want to ask you, like as a Big Ten connoisseur, Michigan State, I feel like did they fall off? Is it fair to say like Michigan State's falling off?
Tom Izzo's another one of the guys that's in found himself in a new era of basketball that I don't think they've fallen off. I think they're in a transitional period where Tom Izzo is maybe a little bit stubborn about what this is and doesn't want to fully go into the new era with a lot of gusto. But I think they're going to be fine. But I don't know if someone else wants to make the case that they've fallen off. Like the brand has fallen off a little bit.
But I mean,
but they're still a good basketball team. Like this past Michigan State team, if Max Christie was as good as he was supposed to be, Michigan State would have been awesome. Like,
right.
They were missing like the one like 5-star guy that was like, I'm going to be a first-round pick. I'm awesome, and that was supposed to be him. It didn't work out. Sometimes that just happens.
And also, you could kind of sum it up as like Amani Bates. That would be where you're like, have they fallen off? Like Amani Bates,
right?
Like I think he said he was going to Michigan State when he was a sophomore,
right?
And then it switches to Memphis late in the game.
Tom Izzo playing the new version of college basketball is taking Amani Bates,
right?
It would backfire. It would have been a disaster, and then he would have just doubled down on like, this is why I don't do this, and I don't know. So
that was the first time where I was like, oh, so he's not doing this new game.
Yeah,
like he should. Because guess what? I mean, Juwan Howard's probably doing the new game. Like, and that's Michigan State has always felt like they got the better basketball players.
Yeah,
at least for the last 20 years.
I've been feeling like more and more recently over the last, I don't know, like since we've been doing this show, college football coaches have just become more psycho than ever. Like you almost have to be a paranoid sociopath to be a successful college football coach. I'm not even really exaggerating about that. Like the most successful ones are. In college basketball, it feels like there's more like, I don't know, dedication to the game. Like they feel like they think of themselves more of like stewards of the game as being an elite college basketball coach. Do you think that's like a fair statement to say?
It's sort of because like college football, you're still allowed to be a hard ass a little bit too, and you're still allowed to be a disciplinarian and stuff. Like the college basketball coaches now have to be players coaches. You have to be BFF with the AAU coaches as you're recruiting and the high school coaches and all that, and you just have to be like a very likable Jay Wright type and Tony Bennett type and Mike Bray type. Those are the guys that are successful now, whereas I think college football you can still be insane, and that is that's interesting. That dichotomy is interesting, that you can just be completely out of your mind. But like a completely out of your mind college basketball coach, I don't know how much that plays. Like Eric Musselman's a little out of his mind, but he's like
he's a very
fun
player
about it.
coach.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a different kind of.
You're out of your mind, but you're like recruiting your players to like get out of their mind with you.
Yeah, right.
Like join my crazy tent.
Yeah,
and we'll just have a good time and win some games.
And it is. I hate to be like the old man in the conversation sometimes, but like when people are like, "Oh yeah, the game has changed. Kids don't want to be coach hard anymore." I think that's partially true.
It is.
It's definitely like you can admit that, and it's not maybe a bad thing. Like Bobby Knight just fucking choking people. That's probably good. That's not happening anymore.
Probably.
But I think it's hard.
To talk about
that's Libcat talking.
It's hard for coaches. No, it's Democrat. Oh, that was a new one that someone dropped on me last week. It was fucking fire. I was like, damn, it's taking you that long. But college coaches, like, Now the kids can transfer like that, which is good. All these things are good. They can't be like hard ass all the time because I think kids are like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not letting you just scream at me.
Izzo's not a hard ass because Izzo is, I will yell at you, but then I will throw my arm around your shoulder and love you. But even that formula in the last however many years has been criticized. Like he's had a few instances. One that comes to mind was with like Aaron Henry, and people lost their mind about that. And he's as these guys retire, he's becoming like the last of a dying breed.
But you know what's good for him in that respect is that if you have a couple well-known pros who have your back, you can get away with a lot more. Like Draymond Green always been like, that's Michigan State family.
Right.
It completely negates the whole controversy immediately.
And there's also something about like the culture around the Michigan State program of having not just a guy like Draymond who's like, I love Tom Izzo, but Draymond's a tough son of a bitch and is like, That's why I'm here. I'm a tough son of a bitch. Zach Randolph is like, this is why I'm a tough son of a bitch.
Right. Like there's some people who, if they speak up, you're like, oh, okay. Like Joakim Noah when he's like talks about, Tom Thibodeau being like, that's what made me who I am kind of as a pro. It's like, okay, so maybe his hard ways aren't the worst.
Where do we what's going to happen with the NBA? This is coming out on Monday, so we still have like
let's make our predictions. Let's do the last question. Yeah, the Roback question, RHOBACK.com. Use code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. We actually have, Mark, for you, Q-zips, polos, hoodies, anything you want. We got it. What size are you? Small? Small now? Yeah. Callie Mark?
I'm getting smaller by the day.
Jeez, you barely
give me a large.
This is Jewish grandmother you. You're skin and bones, Mark.
I love Roback.
Okay, wait. So what game will we be at? We'll be game 3 in both series will have just completed, if I'm doing my math right.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say 2-1 Heat.
I'm going to say 2-1 Celtics.
Okay. I'm also going to throw in there 2-1 Heat. Jaylen Brown got COVID. I'm going to throw that. I think they might be in trouble with the COVID thing, which is bullshit.
2-1 Heat. I like that. I like. I'm with Big Head. 2-1 Heat. What about the other one though? I'm trying to think of.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Mavs.
Ooh, spicy.
Bad for Luka though.
Did you see Luka drinking a beer this morning?
Yeah,
awesome.
I did.
He drank one this morning.
Someone got a picture of him. He was having lunch at it was probably like 11 a.m. San Francisco time, and he was just.
You guys can help me out with this.
That's very European.
So yeah, someone was like I think the tweet that I tweeted was like. Slav's gonna Slav or something.
Slav on my knob.
Yeah.
He was with Boban.
Oh, he was. Okay,
cool.
yeah. So they're just.
Why is Lucas so likable, and why I've been thinking about this the foreign players seem very likable and the Americans do not.
Luka's likable now.
I think he's
We will hate Luka.
You think we're gonna hate him?
Oh,
I think Luka's kind of a prick actually.
Yeah.
But in a way that I respect and like that in a guy.
But that's what I mean. Like he's very like. If it was any other person, like laughing at the other team every single time he made a shot, and
I think it's actually very simple. I think
it's
just
so likable.
Foreign guys, as like standing here right now, there has not been a prominent foreign guy who's tried to force his way out of a situation like a James Harden, like a Kyrie.
Okay.
I think that actually plays. Like I think Giannis sticking with Milwaukee. Like
Embiid,
if Giannis left,
Embiid going through the process years.
If Giannis said he wanted to play for the Lakers, people wouldn't like Giannis. They would hate Giannis.
Jokic the same way. Like he's getting
staying
swept
with your team,
almost getting swept, and he's just kind of like, I'm gonna stick around.
Right.
Yeah.
I think people will hate Luka. I love watching him play basketball, but I think he will because he does complain a lot.
Yes.
And like anything in sports, if he wins like 2 titles in the next 4 years, let's say.
Yeah.
People
which he won't if he
wins which is why he shouldn't win.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
It's bad for Luka if he wins.
Right.
Do not win the title.
Just always have him be like a possibility to win.
Yeah.
And then if he's always the slight underdog, people continue to root for
the
him.
Dirk.
Yeah. But
just win once.
I also think he's showing some personality, and I think that people by and large now like a little bit of personality. Like he can be a prick sometimes, but it's something to talk about.
Yeah.
He's just so like when you watch him, I mean, it's a crazy thing that he does where he's moving in sometimes slow motion, but he's so precise and like good with his body that it's so perfect. He plays perfect basketball.
I would just crawl up into him if I was guarding him.
Yeah.
I would just pressure.
Make him go left.
I would pressure him a little more, make him go left, and then when he picks up his dribble to shoot, just put a hand up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Close
Yep.
out.
Well, when they
Easy.
pick up the dribble, they
And-
have to get rid of it somewhere,
Yeah.
right? So get on the ball.
Get in his jersey.
Yeah.
I'd get in
You
his
see a lot
jersey.
of guys do that when you're guarding him. He'll pick up his dribble, and then you see guys like continue to move one way, and you're like, idiot, he can't keep dribbling now. He can't go anywhere.
That's travel if he keeps going.
And then, but you see like Cam Johnson, for example, like Luka would stop, and Cam Johnson would like fall down and keep going that way, and you're like, dude, why would you do that?
You got to keep your balance.
Stop.
Yeah, keep your balance.
Guard the belly button.
But then also,
belly button.
on the flip side of that, when he first gets the ball, don't fall for the pump fake.
Yeah.
Keep your feet on the
Yeah.
ground.
Great point.
That's how you
Great
stop
point.
Luka.
Great point.
I love teaching guard the belly button. They can't go anywhere without their belly button. That's the old like you can't. You can't.
I had a coach
If you're
one
guarding
time-
the arms, the hands, the ball,
Your head can go over here,
Yeah,
but your body-
no,
yeah, but
you can't
your
go
belly
anywhere
button-
without that belly button.
I had a coach one time tell me to guard their neck.
That's good.
And it was the same logic. It was like, if the neck's going someplace, the rest of the body's going to follow.
But
Yeah.
the problem is you hear that when you're like when you're 7 years old, you have a coach tell you that you're like, okay, I'm gonna do that on defense. But then when you're on offense, you think, are they watching my neck? So then you're just like throwing your neck around,
Start flailing.
trying to like outsmart.
Bobblehead. All right, so what's that? So you have 2-1 Mavs. I'll go 2-1 Warriors.
I think this is an either. This is a classic either or. For
Yeah.
me. I could see it either way. I think it might be a stay away. Honestly, I think stay away. This is classic.
It's a wonky series.
It could go.
It's in the Vegas zone.
I really do. Like, I think about it. Like, I see the Mavericks winning, but then it's the Warriors. I can see the Warriors winning.
The Warriors could win. Absolutely.
It's a stay away.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay away. I'm not touching this one. No, I'm doing Warriors in a sweep. Why not?
Whoa.
Let's get crazy.
The Mavs and the Heat fans are like, if it's Mavs Heat in the finals, it's going to be just a war of like who's being disrespected.
Yeah,
more.
right. Do people? I feel like at this stage in the NBA playoffs, nobody has the balls to predict sweeps anymore. Like when it get like his team.
PFT tried.
I tried. It was the Nets over the Celtics.
Yeah.
No, I mean at the conference final stage is what I mean.
yeah.
Like when you get this deep into it, because all four of these teams have obviously been playing well. I feel like people are scared to have the balls to just be like, I get that the
Sweep.
Mavs beat
Yep.
the Suns, but they're dog shit. The Warriors are going to sweep them.
Yeah.
Or the Celtics are going to get swept.
I
by
think
the Heat.
that the Mavs are going to jump out 2-1, and then the Warriors are going to win the series.
Wow.
How about that?
I like
How
that.
about that for nuts on the line?
All right, there
You should do a Wampus bet against Jake. Do you ever dip?
You
ever did?
I've never. No, I almost did one time. And-
Oh, nice.
Great.
So-
That's fucking nuts, man.
It's crazy. You're fucking wild for that. Oh, I do remember what I was going to ask you way back when I lost my train of thought. Number one pick, who's going to be?
I think it's gonna be Chet. I think it would be. I think I was thinking Jabari was gonna go number one before the lottery happened, but then I think Orlando is gonna love Chet and
Jalen Suggs played high school together. Yeah.
I think that's gonna win out in the end.
Yeah. It's weird because I actually think this is this draft actually has like a few guys. I'm like, oh, I could see him being a really good NBA player.
The more I think back on like draft things I got wrong or like I misread or whatever else, the more I'm wondering if like Jaden Ivey should just be considered the best in this draft because he's of the guys at the top.
Nah, dude, I'm of the Gar Foreman school of scouting. He lost to St. Peter's. No thanks. You just judge based on the tournament.
It's a good point.
It's like no.
It's a good point. He had.
If Mondo Baycott was coming out, he'd be
But
my
I
first
will
pick
say
overall.
that's a good point. Jaden Ivey almost hit the shot at the end. Was that for the win or for the tie, Jake? Do you remember the Jaden Ivey?
I think they were down 3.
They were down
I can
3,
double check,
right?
Though.
Yeah, he thought that was going in.
But
Like,
you
he
can't
shot
lose to
that.
St. Peter's and be a pick, a number one pick.
It was 67-64. So yeah.
I don't think he was. Yeah, you're right. You've scrambled my brain now.
You could just.
But
be
all
like,
the other
"Remember that tournament game?"
all the other people at the top are like big dudes that I like Jabari's not gonna have the ball in his hand at the end of games, and Chet, who the hell knows how teams are gonna use him on offense, and I guess Paolo I don't know.
Who's the guy that's going to fall
maybe.
in the draft that's going to be like 10 or above that probably the Spurs will end up getting, and you'll be like, oh, fuck, how did everybody miss on this guy?
Oh, man.
I got an answer.
Who's your answer?
I think AJ Griffin's gonna be really good, but he's got like injury shit
Yeah.
that people will tell
I could-
themselves
yeah.
that they're not into it. He'll probably go more like 7-ish, but I think he could be one of those guys that in 3 or 4 years you're like, oh, he's perfect for the NBA.
Yeah.
He just makes every three.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
AJ Griffin was one of my favorite guys on Duke this year.
I actually didn't hate him.
I loved him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is hard to say.
I kind of like Keels.
Yeah.
Keels is he's playing the wrong sport. He needs to be playing football.
Yeah, I was about to say that's why I like him.
Yeah, that's probably why you like him.
Admittedly, this whole season I've been
Yeah.
like he's like a running back.
Yeah, Malachi Branham from Ohio State was a guy that I was really excited to be a steal for somebody, but like it seems like every time I read anything about how his draft process is going, he's shooting up draft boards. So I don't think he's going to surprise anybody. I'm curious like what's going to happen with the old school centers like Mark Williams at Duke and Walker Kessler at Auburn and guys like that are like incredible shot blockers and can run the floor and just dunk. You watch them play in college. They're just dunking it every time they get it anywhere around the rim. And if it was 1996, they might be 1-2 in the draft.
If you could do anything elite, though, I think you can be on it. Like he, if you can protect the rim at an elite level, you have a spot.
Right.
You're not going to be a
Yeah.
superstar. You're not going to be a like everyday starter, but you'll have a spot on a roster.
Right.
If you can hit threes, you'll have a spot on the
Chet
roster.
I'm so excited for Chet though. I'm so excited for the Chet takes because he's like your guys. He's got to be your guys' dream from a take perspective.
Oh.
That like he is the number one I think prospect for takes that has ever existed in the NBA draft.
Yeah,
ever.
because you just have to look at him and you have a take.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody has a take. You could go out. You could go walk around Manhattan and just show a picture of Chet Holmgren and be like, "What's your take?"
Yeah.
We tried to give him
Bum.
KD's old nickname.
Yeah.
So the Slim Reaper. Like
Yeah.
that should be. He's got that body type right now. KD got rid of it. That should belong to Chet now.
Yeah.
He probably can't bench. Oh,
Yeah, get Chet in here.
Is Johnny Davis going to be good in the pros? I hope so.
Yeah, he's got to be.
He's got to be.
gotta
Thank
be,
you.
right?
All right, I
He's gonna
appreciate
be
that.
that.
How much
That
can
was-
he bench?
How much can I bench?
Yeah.
I'm. It's a sad scene.
We're
PhD.
sore anyway. We played basketball.
Yeah, we're. I'm tired.
okay.
I'm
Yeah.
tired today.
Well, you want to lift after you shoot.
I was trying to remember how much Billy benched last time.
225.
Check behind you.
Oh, you got the
275.
Federer?
275.
Yeah, 275.
Going for
275.
295 soon. Maybe
Are
after
you?
this.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Soon. That's like LeBron Q&A soon.
All right, Mark, it's always a pleasure. We love catching up with you. Please let us know what Rosillo says back
Yeah,
because we'll put that in the video.
He still is not texting.
I think he's on a
But
plane right now. Yeah.
I will let you know if he's. I'm going with ignored is probably.
Okay, but just text us
I'm
when
going
if he
with- all right,
responds.
all right.
Text us and we'll that'll be great.
All right.
Thank you though. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Listen
Mark.
to Titus and Tate.
please.
Mark Titus is brought to you by our great friends over at Game Time. It's the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. We've been going to a lot of games recently. Hank had his feet on the wood. Jake and I were literally on the ice. We've been going to Mets games, Rangers games, Nets games, and we're all getting in with the good help of our friends over at Game Time. It's the best place to get the best, cheapest last-minute tickets. Use the Game Time app. You're going to find the last-minute price drops and other seats that you never thought that you could even consider buying. They've got it all set up for you on the Game Time app. The NFL schedule is officially out, so you can get your tickets on Game Time. Use promo code PMT. We get all our tickets with the Game Time app. It's so easy to use. All you have to do is you download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create your login, and then redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Some terms apply, but you get $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time, last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Okay, let's wrap it up. The Dallas Mavericks are dead. We waited till after the game to record the end of the show. The Dallas Mavericks are dead. Friday night, they were alive for a half. Steph Curry happened, put them to sleep. Sunday night, they were alive for a quarter.
2 quarters. They
Two
won
quarters.
2 quarters.
Oh yeah, we're big quarter podcast.
So it was a tie.
It was a tie. For anyone who's out there who maybe we give this to Stat Hole Sports, who has won the most quarters this year in the entire regular season of the NBA?
Oh, shit.
That would be a lot of work. But I would like to know who the quarter gods are. That would be nice to just figure out, this is the team that has won the most quarters on aggregate.
I'll bet you low-key some of the worst teams in the league always win 1 quarter.
Yeah.
Like the 4th quarter.
For sure.
They're getting blown out.
Yeah, low-key.
Low-key.
At what point do you think low-key we're going to low-key be using low-key non-ironically to make fun of Billy? Because I think it's seeping in our head.
No, definitely. We're not capping anymore.
Right.
on
It's
low-key.
going to suck when we start saying it and we're like, fuck, why do we sound like Billy.
We've definitely already reached that point and surpassed it. I think last Friday was probably the first time.
It's a major crutch for him.
Yeah,
it's just basically anytime he has a feeling, he's just like low key. I'm hungry.
It's the Zoomer's way of saying no offense.
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter what the fuck you say after.
It's not even used in a no offense for him. He uses it in everything where he's like, low key, I think I'm going to go to the gym today. Yeah. It's like, you're just telling me what you're doing. Well, Billy, low key, it's nice out.
Billy needs entrance and exit words for every sentence that he says. So, like, if he just got caught lying and he wants to, like, transition to something else, he'll be like, anyways, and then he'll just move on. Yeah. He just needs, like, an in and an out of every thought that he has.
Good news about this game, by the way, back to my point about the blowouts, this technically counts as less than 10 points, even though it felt like a blowout, had blowout energy the entire second half. We had a 9-point game, so I guess that counts as a competitive game.
Yeah, and I don't know. If you listen to our predictions with Titus about what the series was going to look at, we were doing a bit.
What did I say?
I think I said Mavs 3-0 or
no,
2-0.
It was the first game had been. I was right about the Heat, and then I think I said 2-1 Warriors.
Yeah, I think I said 2-1 Mavs at that point. That was a joke. I was doing a bit on that one because I knew that Andrew Wiggins was going to explode tonight.
It's nice to be. We were talking about, what did you say? 31 million he makes?
Yeah, 31 million. People forget he was the #1 overall pick.
Yeah, and it's nice to play on the Warriors. Like, it still stands that I think Andrew Wiggins has gotten probably unfairly scrutinized. Well, maybe fairly scrutinized at points in his career because he wasn't up to that #1 pick standard, but he's a great fit for the Warriors. And when you play with Steph and Clay and Draymond, and you're playing like smart basketball around, and those guys can have all the attention in the world on him, it makes your life a lot easier. And he has had a very good playoffs, and he's a key part of what they're trying to do and win a title. I have a thought for you, PFT. I put a future on the Warriors. We talked about it before the play or after the first game of the playoffs. Switch my pick to the Warriors. I'm rooting for them. I also think, like, I don't know why, but I just want the Warriors to win another title, just as like a thank you to them for all the awesome basketball they've let us watch.
Well, allowing them to win another title would be like us being like, my bad for hating on you guys after you were too good for a while.
Right, because we got sick of and everyone got sick of the stretch where it was Warriors, Cavs every single year, and you get it, and the Kevin Durant going to Golden State pissed a lot of people off. But I was like, I had a moment where it's like, I actually genuinely like everyone on the Warriors, and they have played incredible basketball that's been so much fun to watch. Why not have them win another title where it kind of caps off everything they've done, and you can look at it and say, Steph Curry with 4, Clay with 4, Draymond with 4, this team is like all-time great. Everyone already knows they're all-time great from what they did, but having that extra title after they're all past their peak, after the injuries, after Kevin Durant, would be nice.
I'm just going to make the call right now. This championship, if they win it, it counts as part of their dynasty.
I'd agree.
This one definitely counts because you could make the case. You've got the bubble year. You've got the
Raptors doesn't count.
Yeah, Raptors winning, that was weird. You've got the injury year.
Yep.
That definitely
2 injury years.
Yeah, 2 injury years. That's right, because Clay took his sweet time getting back.
Yeah, got re-injured.
Got re-injured again. So yeah, 2 injury years. This officially counts as part of their dynasty, and they are fun to watch. And I love like what Wiggins is doing right now. I'm very happy to see that. The dunk that he had, they tried to take that away from us. That dunk, if you commit a foul on a dunk, it should not count.
No.
As long as your hand grabs the rim, the ball goes through, you should be able to do whatever you want in the act of shooting, and the dunk negates any foul that you may have committed.
And a cool dunk like that should never be taken off. I'm happy they used their challenge on that, which they didn't really need to.
Well, maybe the referees were like, that dunk was so cool, let's call it wrong, and then hope that it gets challenged and we get to watch it a million times on replay.
By the way, we haven't talked about this. I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's just, basketball is easier to have someone look at it and you can kind of tell right away that, oh, that call was bad. Basketball coaches are awesome at challenges compared to football coaches.
Well,
I feel like they always get it right.
In the NFL, they just do, man, that sucks. I really hope I really wish that play didn't happen the way that it did.
Right.
So they use the challenge flag on that one. Hopefully, like, they'll see something that didn't happen and overturn the call.
Please be in please have broken the plane.
Well, I think it's like most coaches in the NFL, if you're like a bottom tier coach, you just every single bad play that happens to you, you think in the back of your head, like, I might lose my job because we lost this game. So they're coaching out of panic and they're challenging out of panic. And other times you just can't find your challenge flag if you're Jeff Fisher. But in the NBA, I feel like they have a better like line of responsibility that it goes through, where they probably have someone whose dedicated job is just to know the rules really well and then to let the coach know whether or not you should challenge.
The strategy always gets confusing, though, like when, because you only have one.
Right, so a lot of them save it. Yeah. I think like
when people do it in the first quarter or the first half, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, everyone, the smart coaches basically save it for if my star player gets in foul trouble, I need to keep this challenge in my back pocket. Yeah. But maybe someone will show me the stats and I'm way off, but it feels like the challenges are, for the most part, successful. And they have like the little green light that goes off.
It's also just not listening to your players.
Yeah. Like if you challenge
because
every time,
player wants to challenge every single call against them.
Marcus Smart is the king of that.
And like, Draymond.
Marcus Smart has never committed a foul in his life.
When they commit a foul, they just do the review.
Yep.
Because no one's ever committed a foul before. Right. Yeah. I just love when they do this. It's like the home run sign.
Yep.
Okay, so that's gonna be a womp. That's gonna be a sweep.
I'm starting to feel better about the take that they're doing Luka a disservice by advancing this far. And again, as we said in the interview, I don't necessarily believe it, but I'm like putting my flag out there and waiting for somebody else in the media to run with that narrative. I'm almost like calling the take in advance that it's going to happen.
Yes, it absolutely will happen. Hockey, we have the Battle of Alberta got serious tonight because Milan Lucic ran Mike Smith. A lot of fighting. Oilers are up now 2-1. You
never touch another man's goalie.
Never, ever. And it's been an awesome series. I just love the Battle of Alberta. I like saying it. I like looking at a map, being like, "Ooh, they're only 2 hours away from each other." It's just everything about it's fun.
It does sound like a movie starring Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah,
involving trains somehow.
I also looked up Calgary the other day, and Calgary, if you like, it always blows my mind. But the population of Calgary is like over 1 million people, and 100 years ago it was like 2,000 people. That shit just blows my mind.
It exploded.
Where it's like, or even 40 years ago, it was like 400,000 people. Think about being like a 90-year-old person in Calgary and be like, yeah, I remember when I knew everyone's name here.
That would be nuts. Hank, I'm just curious. And actually, I would not be very good at this either, but I'm curious to know, like, through your lens, if I were to say, like, what part of Canada is Calgary in? What part of Canada is Edmonton in? What part of Canada is...
I know Vancouver.
Is Winnipeg
I know
in?
Toronto.
No, those are the three.
You've had some context clues about Calgary and Edmonton.
Calgary, Edmonton, and Winnipeg on a map. If you're looking at your hand and that's Canada.
Can you get the province? Even though we've said it.
Alberta.
Yeah, there we go. That's an easy one. Just see one go through the hoop.
Finish your hand analogy. I need as just like broad as possible.
So this is the hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's give you this one. This is Montreal here.
On your
say
thumb.
This is Montreal.
And then Vancouver is the pinky.
Is the pinky. He's thinking.
Next to the pinky.
Yes, that's right.
I think that's right. That's Alberta.
I think it's right.
What about Winnipeg?
Winnipeg, I
middle
think
finger?
it's middle finger.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty
Toronto
close
would be
to the
the
center.
pointer finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
you nailed
Geographical genius. Yeah, no big deal.
You are.
You know sphere. You know globe.
Yep.
What other hockey? Oh, the Lightning are just going to win it all again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of sucks. Sorry, Jake.
It's not over.
What really?
No, it is.
It's
Oh,
over.
shut up. It's over.
3-0. It's over.
No, it's over.
How many periods have the
Panthers have, I
Panthers
think,
won?
2 goals in the 3 games.
That's not great.
Oof.
It sucks for the Maple Leafs because everyone called it like a choke job, them losing. But they might have they might have lost to the best team in the NHL.
Yeah.
Still a choke.
And we also had Biz was very prescient, like that SAT word
Sorry,
right
3
there.
goals in 3 games.
Saying that Nazem Kadri is the key to the Avalanche and that Edgy plays on. Well, the key is to get the Blues goalie, Binnington, out for the rest of the season. So
dirty.
It actually wasn't that dirty of a play, I don't think. I think it was a bang-bang play, and if it happened to anyone else, it wouldn't have been a story. But then you had Binnington throwing a water bottle at Kadri after the game when he was doing an interview with Biz.
I also think that goalies are some of the best floppers in sports.
Yes.
hockey goalies, if you get touched, you go down. And we're talking to Rudy, who played college hockey, and he's, I think, a pretty good hockey
National
player.
champion, no big
National
deal.
champion at Denver,
Yeah.
right? And he was saying that,
I think 2 minutes of ice time.
Goalie helmets,
Maybe.
goalie helmets are like engineered
season.
to not really protect you, so they fly off super easy.
Yeah.
So anytime you touch a goalie and the mask goes flying across the ice, it's actually great for the effect of it. They're great at special
There's
effects.
his head, Ichabod
Yeah,
Crane.
it looks like a Michael Bay movie anytime you get in the crease.
Yeah. Let's have where's memes? Can we get memes in here? Let's wrap up with him telling us about the Rangers win. Just torture him a little
I don't
bit.
like when the Hurricanes.
No, he hates the Rangers so much. He hates the Rangers more than he likes the Islanders.
I don't like,
which I like.
I don't like when the Hurricanes wear
This is
their
debut.
Ranger knockoff jerseys. I especially don't like it when they play against the Rangers wearing the Canes like diagonal slanted font across their chest.
Yeah.
It looks like you're trying too hard.
What'd you just say, Hank? No, this isn't his debut. Corporate Hank would know.
He did his rant last
Memes
week.
has been on the show. Another inside joke that Hank misses. Do you feel a little lost, Hank? Yeah, he's nodding. Quick, we're gonna finish. We're gonna do the ping pong balls for nut shots.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. But give us your thoughts on the Rangers win.
Expected.
Okay.
Playoff hockey. They're not terrible.
You hear that, guys? That was a nice compliment.
Hurricanes very good at home. They've lost every game away. So
Just got to hold home ice.
yeah, hold home ice. I knew they were going to lose tonight. I think they'll win. When do they play?
Tuesday?
Tuesday, and then they'll finish them up at home.
Okay.
What did you think about the streets of New York flooded with Rangers jerseys today? Those are your people, right?
It was terrible. I took the train in.
Yeah.
Just
You were
nonstop.
living with them? You were
Yeah, it's
seeing
bad.
them?
People are like, "Oh, I'm gonna fly out Game 7." They're booking their tickets already.
Really?
Yeah.
They're only down 2-1.
Yep.
Why wouldn't it? This is like Dwight Schrute in the Hell Hotel. Why wouldn't you, in your best dream, wouldn't you be like, we win Game 6 at home ice?
Yeah. No, they're already.
No,
looking
they
ahead.
They've already lost another one in their mind?
they win one, and then it's best of 3.
Yeah, it's a dream scenario. It goes 7. Okay, thank you, Memes. You want to do your, what number are you, ping pong ball?
69.
69, okay.
6.
I'm gonna do 51.
26.
10.
25.
And if Hank gets it, he has to hit Jake in the nuts again.
Yeah.
No.
Thanks, Jake, for finishing out the show. 2. Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter.
Oh yeah. I told you this before. The moment I saw lettuce and tomato on a Philly cheesesteak, I knew
Yeah,
it was
a
bad
mistake.
news.
I don't know why. I don't know what happened with that.
How's your
order.
butt doing?
It's hanging in there thanks to Dude Wipes.
There we
Shout
go.
out Dude Wipes.
Yeah.
Love you guys. An ostrich's eyes are bigger than its brain, low-key.